We ever have. Levs is practicing. Ever.
Yes.
Always. That's it.
Yes, Velev is always practicing, as they say.
That's
Hey,
good.
happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to FaeRun Reborn. Last session we leveled up, and already they're wondering how their characters work. They can't remember their names. They don't remember what they can and can't do. So, typical group.
Typical Monday.
Yeah, typical Monday,
Yeah.
typical group.
Typical
Nothing
Monday.
fancy at all, other than the fact that they're, at that certain level, that they're going to start meeting things that, well, are going
to kick our butt.
well, sure.
And Irina was just saying for like the next 3 levels, she doesn't get anything except more spell slots.
You don't get
Yeah,
anything
she
except
gets-
spell slots.
And she likes lots of slots.
Yes.
So,
I am very partial to my slots.
So we're going to have a kind of an interesting session tonight because a couple things are going to happen. One, I think I need to recenter Kai. I'm not sure how that happened, but let me get her recentered. Somehow.
Yeah,
It doesn't move.
Obviously, she was moving, and
I was
it was
moving, yeah.
and she shifted to the side. Here, let me fix my frame a little bit for you, Jason, because there we go.
Yes. By the way, everybody's mean to me today, so everyone rolls with disadvantage. All of your hit points are reverted to 2.
Oh, okay.
And none of you have any slots. All the slots are gone. 0 slots.
No, we need slots.
Hey,
Slots are the best.
all the slots.
Task, tilt your camera down a little bit. All I can see is your chin. There you go. Look at that beautiful. Yep. Well, we know what Apollo's doing in his spare time.
That reminds me of the mask.
It reminds me of Batman because the bad guys are always skewed to the left or right, and he's
the bad guys are definitely always skewed. There's no doubt about that.
The camera angle. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you'd be surprised, then, Buffy. You'd be surprised. There are so many slots lying around here. It's getting kind of ridiculous.
I forgot my other light.
Well, you look amazing even
I
without
do have a
it, so-
couple, at least kind of cool announcements. We have finalized our promo code with Viridian Dice. So
great.
we get a 10% discount on all their dice except for the gem and the custom dice. So all plastic, resin, and acrylic will be getting 10% off for up to 2 weeks starting August 1st.
I have to order dice.
So I will be giving that out into our Discord members. So if you are not a Discord member, I highly recommend you become one, because on August 1st, I will be sharing that with our Discord membership first. And then for every follow that we get here, I will be able to share it with our followers as well. And then during the last day of the 2-week the last day of the 2-week promo code, I will publish it for whatever our final show is that day, as well as we're probably doing another giveaway as well. But hey, we reset all of our channels for miniature giveaways and dice giveaway, so another reason to join the Discord. Another reason to join the Discord is you can listen in on a lot of other games that we have going on, or you can listen in to this game, or you can listen in to other games. You can do lots of cool things. Talk about player builds, use our Avery bot, use our Groovy bot, use our event bot. Build your own event, build your own game, and if you need help learning how to do that online, glad to help. Would not be a problem. We are a teach and learn. There's a bug. Rolling natural 20s on my face. So we are a teach and learn server. So we are a very safe place. We enjoy helping people learn. We enjoy helping people teach, and helping people get games started. Unfortunately, I think we will be in a partial shutdown probably within the next 30 days as the Delta variant is taking hold in some of the more densely populated areas. And I'm not referring to population size. But anyways, so get your vaccine, wear your mask, wash your hands, do everything you were doing before to prevent that from happening. Because if we all wash our hands, take our vaccines, wear our masks, they won't have to shut down. So please help everybody. I don't want to see anyone get sick or get hurt or any of the crazy things going on right now. Let's play. Call the T for these variants. Yeah, no kidding. Especially the one to the right. Apollo's a bit of a troublemaker. Valev's okay, but the problem I find with Valev is that so-called boyish naivete is just a con. Just a con. Most gods walk the face of the planets as naive children for a reason. And I just realized I got these two swapped. Let me get that fixed. Gul Shah is not my girlfriend, although I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
And I'm not Kai.
And you're not
Shah's
Kai.
not Kai.
Yeah, I think it was because I re-added Cesare's window because he updated his name, and it kind of.
I didn't.
Oh, you
I
didn't?
Are you
change it.
breaking up with me on Discord?
I didn't update the name.
Am I?
I knew it would mess it up, so I'm still there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was me because recently I'd made a couple changes to a couple of the other shows, and I try not to use the same window captures, but sometimes OBS gets a little wonky when you use too many window captures. I've also noticed that lately OBS's chat panels have been crashing on me as well. So there we go.
I'm now me.
Yes.
I'm really glad we got that coupon code because I just bought like 7 sets of dice, so
Well,
perfect timing.
I was supposed to do it in July, but unfortunately the CEO had an accident and was in recovery for a couple weeks. And he's much better now, and he's fully on the mend. So I did not want to pressure graphics and other things, but they gave me their artwork. They gave me the Bitly code. So we've got everything ready to go. The code will officially be active August 1st. So save those ducats for August 1st. And I mean, the Sauron dice are cool. I'm definitely buying myself a set of those. Those look so cool. And those are actually in our giveaway this week. So
I rolled poorly.
Did you see my roll?
Did you see my roll?
My roll was 999.
I think I rolled 42.
Well, there was a giveaway week one time where I rolled for dice. I rolled a 996, and then for miniatures, I rolled a 997. There was a it was crazy. It was nuts. Yeah. I never roll that high.
I'll definitely get the over if it's. We'll see. I think somebody else got like 990 something as well. So
yeah, there were actually a couple. There were a couple high rolls on that one. So yeah, definitely. So hey, before we get started on a recap we're actually going to be doing a slight time skip event tonight, as things have been kind of moving in a positive direction for the team as a whole, and they're going to get an opportunity to work on some of their specialized skills, some of their other activities that they use to normally bolster themselves up. And we'll get to that point later on, but first I always like to remind everybody, everything you need to know about us is down below in the abouts. Our creation panels are down below with our creative family, 3 of which are in this game. Start with Cesare, who plays Valev. Go ahead and tell us about the TGAC.
Hey, that's me. I'm Cesare. I play Valev. I'm like, wait, character intros? No, we just jump into the game. I play in a few different games, and we all do things kind of differently. But the one that Jason's talking about is the General Adventuring Company, which is a podcast and video production. So you can find it on YouTube or Facebook. Just search the General Adventuring Company. It is a D&D 5e homebrew world called the Three Kingdoms. I play a Dragonborn Ranger Rogue, which is super fun because I get to be that edgy, like broody, angry, like grr type. And it's very different from Valev.
Edgelord.
Yes. Jeez. It's me. And it's so fun and so different. We are also on Apple Podcasts, Google Play or Google Podcasts, Podbean, basically Spotify, anywhere that you can find podcasts, we are there. And our social media is at TGACPOD pod at TGAC pod.
Yeah.
So that's the D&D stuff. Aside from Sunday's game, The Debtor's Gambit, which is here on Twitch, and yeah, you can check out. I'm not gonna brag, but my character just won a crap load of money gambling and doing piratey stuff. It was great.
He did. He actually did. With that, thank you, Ches, as always. And I'm trying to get caught up on that. I was actually working on some Tailspire builds today for some of the different games, and I actually like to just randomly build Tailspire maps from time to time and kind of, put them out there for giggles.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, let me see. I'm going to move my mic up just a bit. I think it's a little too close to my throat button. I'm going to put it a little bit more toward... Yeah, I notice sometimes that when I'm
Your
watching...
throat button.
Yeah, when I'm watching my audio input capture, if I'm changing my inflection, it picks up on this, even though I've slightly gated it to hopefully maintain it. Hopefully it sounds okay. I've been kind of mucking about with the audio today. In hopes of, I think my compression used to be up too high, so I turned that down, and I had too much bass and not enough treble. So with me having an Irish whisper and kind of an Irish baritone in my voice, I tend to have to, bring it up a notch. But hey, Kai Star, Lady Silverhand, tell us about some of your projects you got going on. And I keep forgetting you got to send me your links.
I thought I did.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Because you've got so many, I'd prefer you just to kind of send me what you got. Like the... Oh, thanks, Brandon Z. I appreciate that. Send me, send me the preferred, the blah, 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 blah. Send me your preferred links. That way I can build your panel. I still have to build a shortcut in the command prompt for Gulsha, but we'll get to his shirts in a moment. And one of his shirts is going to be in the mail, coming to me soon, and I'm super happy because I'm a fucking nerd that way. Yeah, Irish Whisper, you're not kidding.
So I play Kai Star, or Lady Silverhand. I am Just Jen on Twitter, so you can find me on there. Basically, just look up Just Jen, and it'll pop right up. I am also starting my own podcast with a group of my friends from a bunch of other podcasts, and it's called A Seat at the Table, and it's a group of us. We're all kind of becoming a network together. And that's from like A Fool's Quest and Waylays and Melees and Into the Night. We're all kind of grouping together and
is Macca in that one? Is Check These Out in that one as well?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's Seamus from Waylays and Melees.
Seamus, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. He's my DM now. In A Seat at the Table. Dragon's Reign is our first season. And then Nari is she's like the writer, creator of the actual campaign and a character in it. And she's from Into the Night podcast, which she basically reads stories. So she's got a really awesome voice. You guys should check that out if you ever want to listen to a little short story. It's kind of their little bit creepy or touching or different. It's something.
Hey, Carney Sideshow. I was going to mention something right after Kai, but since he's here, he did the coolest thing today. Like, I'm a huge Tailspire person, but so's Carney Sideshow, and he did a really fun 1-hour event today on his channel. I highly recommend you go and check it out. And I know it's probably in his video library because it was live earlier today, but he did a live in-chat Strahd adventure, and it was great because he dressed up like a Vladimir Strahd. He did the whole inflection the whole time. He had the hair and everything. It was absolutely amazing. And he did an interactive chat event with his folks, and everybody was rolling and teasing each other. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So definitely go check out Carney Sideshow. It's pretty cool. And he is part of a network of creators as well. So I highly recommend that channel. Sorry, Kai, go ahead.
Oh, nope, that's basically it. Just
Okay.
those of us there. And yeah, I mean, I'm on Twitch on Sundays or every other Sunday and different things, but just get in contact with me and, you know, I push it out there every time I'm out there. So
Coolsies. Thank you, Kai. And finally,
yeah.
another one of our family of creators, Gul Shah, my squire brother in arms. We both participate in an organization called the SCA, and we share the same night. But he also happens to be quite the accomplished artist, and he has, well, Ivar, tell us about what you got going on these days.
Well, I've got my Redbubble shop, Dark One Designs, and I basically do art that's based on some of the games I play. And if something strikes me as funny or cute or something really cool happens in the adventure and I want to draw it, I draw it out, put it on Redbubble, and you can buy it on all kinds of merch. You know, you want a, you know, iPod case or whatever, you can get any kind of thing on there, t-shirts and water bottles.
Ivar is the
buttons.
ultimate salesperson. You could tell just the energy, the inflection, the insistence,
Just, you know,
the charisma.
I make stuff. If you want it, check it out.
Hey, I've been to the high pressure salesman. I don't want to do that no more. So I like my art. If you like my art, get my shirts. If not, you don't have to. It's all
He
right.
makes dope stuff. Check it out.
I like his shirts.
Yeah, hold
I like
on.
his
Let me.
shirts.
Hey, Ivar, can. Oh, I don't know if I have you as a moderator in the chat. Let me go to my. Are you a moderator in the chat? I don't remember. I know Callista is. Callista, if you could find Ivar's link for me down in the About panel and post it for everyone. It is, Carney, it is down in our About section, but I haven't made his auto command
Dark
bot.
Designs, right?
Yeah.
Dark One Designs.
Yeah, I haven't made his command bot yet, so hopefully in the future I'll get that done.
Okay.
And Brandon's, you are absolutely correct. COVID is making it very difficult for the SCA to get back into the swing of things. We could probably spend hours talking politics about it and the challenges of the SCA's age group and everything else, but Valev was quite insistent on messaging me about his leveling situation. So
We
God
spend
only
hours
knows.
playing this game. That's what we're playing.
And I got my Death Saves t-shirt in the mail today.
Oh man, I want a Death Saves t-shirt. Death is not a Death Saves t-shirt. I want a Death is a Cold Hug t-shirt.
Yeah, I've got that one already on the way. So for me.
I gotta order mine.
Yes, you do, because it's funny as shit.
Yes.
So before we get started, we have added a new player, Apollo Phoenix. He is a member of our Discord, and he will be joining us in the FaeRun Reborn campaign. I will give everybody a heads up in regards to my campaigns. I don't think I've ever mentioned this before. Typically, my campaigns last about 2 years. Now, this campaign actually was offline and playing non-Twitch related for a little while at first. I think we've kind of come up on a year's worth of playtime with this. I have a whole bunch of backlog of content I haven't done anything with. So my hope is to do something with that and call it a origin series for the show, so you can kind of learn about all the previous players and stuff. But we figured we were in lockdown and we were going to play anyways, and we decided to share the game with everybody. Most of my Twitch shows started that way, with the exception of 2 of them, which I purposely kind of created campaigns around the idea that that they'd be themed for sharing them with everyone, which we share everything we have with everybody anyways. So, but just a little background. I know I've got a lot of new folks that like to watch us these days, and we finally broke the 200 follower mark. We are well on our way to the 250 follower mark. And as a reminder, once we hit 250, we will randomly select from our Twitch follow group a redeemable D&D Beyond, either player's handbook or a DM's guide. Or if someone wins who has most of the packs or bundles, we will work on that. Now, one of the things I'm doing for both the 500 follow and the 1K follow is I'm trying to work with D&D Beyond on a couple other things, but we're also working on some other kind of unique things we'd like to be able to do. One of the things, and if anyone out there knows of any physical creators, we do plan on giving away some Dark Sun Design t-shirts in the future as part of our follow giveaways. But what I'm trying to do is organize in my Twitter account all of the physical content creators and art creators and other like physical creators, not just folks like me that do a lot of presenting and storytelling and content-driven storytelling, and try to aggregate everything that I'm following so that I can randomly start selecting from some of those folks within the TTRPG family network to help do giveaways through them, help kind of bolster their creativity. And I know she doesn't always have time because she's on a different time scale than us, but one of the unsung heroes of all these different networks, whether you hear about her in the background or you hear about her somewhere else, well, 2 unsung heroes. First is Callista, my absolutely adoring partner in crime, who has made all of this possible for me. Without her, none of this would be possible.
That's Arena, by the way.
Yeah, that would be Arena.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Another individual that helps out a great deal, and I in turn help her out a great deal, is Hope for TTRPG. They recently concluded a charity drive that raised $1,100 for one of the charities that they were sponsoring. She's going to help me set up a charity drive for either August or back to school September, depending on how the timing goes. So we'll have to see. But
School starts in August these days, by the way.
Well, it kind of depends. And if you want to learn,
the worst.
Yeah, if you want to learn more about Hope, what she does, and the amazing support that she has created for a lot of different content creators, I have put her Twitter account in the chat, and go check out everything she's associated with. But me and her have been working together for quite some time, and she really helped me out when we launched our new channel about 3.5, 4 months ago. It's hard to believe we've only been around that long, but yeah, we've only been around that long.
Hey, Jason,
yeah.
What is this awesome music that we're hearing in the background?
Oh, yes. Let me do that really quick, because it seems like I'm on a rant today in regards to promoing like a promoing promoer.
Like a supportive community leader.
I know. If you have not heard of Sirenscape, I highly recommend you go and check it out. I am still building their link panel in the if you can't hear it, let me know. It's there. Sometimes I tend to keep it a little bit lower because I know for some folks it can be distracting. Hey, Carney, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. I know that it can be a little bit distracting in the background. So I do keep it a little bit on the low side. It tends to be a bit louder when we get in encounters and stuff like that. But hey, I'm using Sirenscape. They're an amazing dashboard creator. They almost built their tool like similar to what a DJ might use, laying down different layers and integrating different things so that you can actually, even though that comes stocked with like a lot of standard content, and you can buy, so no one can hear it now, huh? Weird.
I can hear it.
I can hear it.
Can you hear it on the
I have
Twitch?
Groovy muted.
Yeah, you can hear it on the Twitch? Huh, weird.
By the way,
yes.
I don't think I said it last time, but what's called? Y'all go follow my Instagram for this kind of stuff and cosplays and all kinds of other ways to kind of get introduced into that. It's called the Adventures Paradise.
Send me, and Apollo, be sure to send me the link in the PM so I can build your panel for that too. And let me get this Groovy edged up a bit. Let's see how. Got you. So I want to be right at 30, I think. It's about where we went. And one of the things I've noticed since I've gotten the habit of building layers with Sirenscape, I actually have a better ability to control the audio now. There's other audio creators that I use. One of the other ones that I follow on his Patreon is Michael Ghelfi out of Europe. Really amazing. And for $10 a month, if you're not musically inclined, which I am not, I'm a storyteller, it's another great way to kind of support folks. It's like Gulshaw does art, some other arts I try to bring in. Like I said, what I'm really trying to organize over the next 30 days is I want to take everybody that I follow on Twitter, which I think is about 743 people that I follow, about half of which are physical creators. And I'm trying to get those folks organized and understand where they put everything and use that as a means to, once again, keep supporting everybody. Something that me and Hope believe in absolutely. And here's the reason why we do this, folks. The reason why we do this is that the media conglomerate had decided not to give us a la carte TV. Here's the beauty of this kind of network. You can literally pick and choose your Twitch channels at leisure, support what entertains you, support each other, do whatever it takes, as long as you enjoy the content, either visually or in an auditory state. I have 82 Twitch channels that I follow, and when I have creative time or downtime, I watch. I pick and choose. I had some time today in between Valev's creativity stuff and Carney Sideshow's creativity stuff. And I was, I listened for about an hour to TGAC. Then I bounced over when I saw Carney go live and watched him give a very really entertaining session with Tailspire. It was great. So enjoy Twitch. It's fun. It's a blast. Get out there and look around and have some fun with it. So a little bit long-winded before, but we probably weren't going to have a very long session tonight anyways, because we're going to be doing some creative stuff tonight. We're going to be, let's kind of briefly recap where we last left off, and then we will focus in on what we're going to do next. Let's go ahead and take off our actual hats. Let's go ahead and take a moment to relax our brain pans, drink our hidden vodka, text our Tinder friends.
You can't prove this is vodka. You can't prove it's vodka.
Can't prove anything.
You can't prove it's
What
vodka.
you talking about? My innocent child is.
So where we
My cup is
last left
purple.
off,
That doesn't mean it's vodka.
so where we last left off, our team had said goodbye to some friends, had solved some challenges that needed to be solved, had some interesting conversations about the remains of a Silverhand that was brought back from the ruined keep where the trap was set, sprung, dispelled, and the team managed to recover quite a few things. Oh, it's definitely Tequila Monday. Or, you know what? Every day that ends in Y is a tequila day.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
And
I love me some margaritas.
they had brought back at least one interesting device, a planar shift chair that seemed to be imbued with multiple abilities in regards to the bound creature or the bound instance of one of the Silverhand entities. Whether it was one of the ones that had recently failed in regards to being brought back, who knows? All that we did learn last time is that it was believed to be a fractured instance of one of the Silverhands. And this fractured instance had been somehow gotten control of and used to create some kind of wayward trap to cut off the ability for people to transition between the Maw Bridge construction site and the major communities and the main town known as Whist. With the continuous influx of refugees, perhaps this was their plan. However, our team spent some time learning as much as they could about it. Our team also hired the Firebrand. The Firebrand mercenary group, who is no longer in contract with Silverhand, has been hired to take on responsibilities and duties down with the town of Traverton. This all because the Maw Bridge celebration went off without a hitch. It was safely opened. None of the potential hazards or dooms or concerns had transpired. However, we did learn one very interesting thing. Young Velev, who traveled with Scorch deep into the Worn-Tooth Mountains, had discovered a rather large crater. A crater that seemed just enormous in size, and that something had actually crawled out of it as opposed to falling into it, perhaps. These were conjectures and questions that both Velev and Scorch were involved in. However, they returned to the construction site to be a part of the Maw Bridge opening celebration as well. With all of this concluded, it is actually the following morning after the conclusion of the celebration of the Maw Bridge being opened. The refugees are pouring over the bridge. Great humanoid tidal waves coming and going of individuals traversing deeper south. But the main construction caravan seems to be packing up. The overall site seems to be packing up. Frostfur? Yeah, Frostfur.
Sure.
His clan has already left. Golshaw's family clan has already left as well. It would seem that this particular event had concluded things here in the Deep East. And although there will be many councils being had, parleys made for the new individuals looking to get involved with Silverhand, for the Chimera Mercantile, it would seem you've approached a new chapter. Apollo Phoenix has joined your little group as a former mercenary of the Firebrand. Someone from the deep, deep east of the inner plains and the far-flung lands of the deep east. Not too much is known about that, as it's been cut off from the Midlands for well over 250 years, ever since the cataclysmic event of the Rift Wars. All of you have taken your long rest because you've leveled up. All of you wake up the following morning to the sounds of a busy camp packing up. The pavilions being brought down. Oddly enough, as each one of you come out of your tents, they're immediately beginning to be brought down. For those of us in the SCA, we know exactly how that feels. And you're watching poles, you're watching canvas and pavilions being packed up, wagons being loaded. The gift of the wagon from the two Tabaxi, the brother and sister Tabaxi, has already been loaded up, hitched with horses. Your own Vardo, I believe you all have a Vardo now that you had brought with you from Whist. As well as your ram and a couple horses that you brought with you, are in the process of being tacked and put together based on, hey, Mikes and Monsters, how you doing? Thank you for dropping by. So it would seem the need to stay here is pretty much up to all of you. You have many different things you could possibly do at this point. I would say that one of the things that was discussed is the Jasper mining colony and some of the events that have been transpiring there. There is still the matter of dealing with Traverton. But at some point during your morning breakfast, as all 5 of you get together, sit around, you notice a familiar face. The transformed elven features of Scorch has returned as well. He's made himself known as he sits alongside Valev. Both Scorch and Valev in kind of hushed tones at first, but all of you having very casual conversation around a very quickly dismantling campsite at this point. It's morning. The celebrations went off without a hitch. The sounds of a very busy site going on around you. What would you guys like to do?
So,
Don't
how
everyone
did
talk at
everyone
once.
sleep?
Just like, who's up to eat, guys? I'm already hungry again.
I think they already packed up the kitchen.
Hey. We can go hunt our food. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is Unthor here, or is he back in Whist?
He's still back in Whist, as far as you know.
Okay.
I'm gonna go say hi to Scorch. Hi, Scorch.
Hello, Rita. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I think I am well. I'm not clear on what that word means all the time, but I'm learning to understand what these conversations mean. I mean, small talk seems very strange to me. I don't know. Is it small talk because you're little?
Yes.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You were right, Valev. If you talk to small people, it's small talk. So if you talk to big people, Scorch turns
big talk.
Yeah, Scorch turns to Gulshaw. This would be big talk. Hello, Gulshaw. How are you? Oh, and who is this? I do not recognize this person.
This is Apollo.
Oh, pleasure to meet you, Apollo.
Apollo, this is Scorch.
Pleasure is mine. What is he?
He's right there. You can't see him.
No, what
Are you
is
blind?
He's an
Out
elf.
of character
kind
or
of
in
creature?
character?
What kind of creature is he?
Are you asking
don't-
in character or out of
Today,
character?
I am an elf.
Today I'm an elf.
I am asking him both.
Well, I mean, you
I
can see the
will
ears,
let
right?
your new friends fill you in on that.
You can see the ears, right?
Yes, but that never. It's like there's so many other races that have those little things. I'd never pay attention.
Well, he's too big to be a goblin, and he's not green.
Oh my gosh, you guys! Apollo,
Today.
he's a dragon.
No way.
Yeah,
No way.
really. He really is. Like, but he's an elf today.
How tall are you, Valev?
Not that it's important, but I about 5.5 feet.
Okay.
Plus or minus a little bit.
Apollo's gonna like grab you by the shirt
shirt
and lift you up.
I don't
and,
have
like,
a shirt
no,
on.
You don't have a shirt on?
No shirt. I'm very loinclothy as well.
Yeah.
He's just gonna pick you up and like Now you are a dragon too.
I
Is
don't.
that
I don't
because you've dragged
That
him
works both
over
ways.
to you?
No, no, I'm
I
a
don't
bear. You
think
can put me
that's how
down
it
now.
works.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna climb up on Ghost and stand up, put my arms up, and say, "I'm a dragon now too."
Valev, can I ask you a question? Are they making
Yeah.
fun of me?
No.
Honestly, I don't know. I'm confused now too.
Oh.
No, we're making fun of Lev.
I was
Oh.
making fun of
Well,
Apollo.
why are they making fun of you? Are you short? I mean, you've gotten better with your bathing, as you described it.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
Yeah.
We're so proud.
Apollo, down, please.
The partner just slows you down.
Okay.
Well, so what is the plan? Did you tell?
Oh my gosh, you guys! I forgot to tell you.
I was going to say something, Valev, but feel free. You can fill them in.
What did you
Sorry,
forget?
sorry, Scorch. You'll probably tell it better. But we saw a big hole in the ground that looked like a crater, but like something made a crater hole like from crawling out of the ground, and not and it had the big old handprints in the earth, and we think it was a titan. And did I miss anything?
Titan. A Titan?
So
Where
was it a
this?
crater or was it a titan?
Yes.
Well,
Was it by the mining area?
Yeah, where was it?
Scorch, where did we fly?
well, we were in the Warren Tooth mountain range, I believe you call it. Although for some reason I have a memory of it being called something else. And then we went north into the Frost Lake Forest. Not more
What
than
else
an hour's flight from here, I believe, and it was in the forest there near the lake.
What was it called in your memory?
Snowflake Mountain.
Ooh,
Huh,
Snowflake
That
Mountain.
sounds pretty. I'd like to go and visit Snowflake Mountain.
Was
Sounds
there
fun.
snow there?
Oddly enough, the tallest peak had some, I think, but I don't
I want
really.
to see snow.
I don't think it's my memory, so I'm not sure why I have it.
So
What is snow?
Oh, you
Frozen
don't.
water.
Yes, it's when water freezes as it falls out of the sky, without magical interference.
Isn't that ice?
Well, ice is a bit.
It's like soft, fluffy ice.
Yeah, that's a good. Where did you find this one? I thought I was simple.
He was a mercenary.
Oh, well, that
So-
explains a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
you remember
It
that
was-
when we were underground there at the mines, we did see a rather large foot of a titan.
Yeah.
The
How
statue.
large of a foot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason, would that have been like in kind of equivalence to size from what we saw
I mean,
of the
like,
handprint?
Its
Give me
toe
an
was
give me
like-
give me an insight check.
Its toe
Since
was
it's-
like the size of me.
Since it's tracking, looking at tracks, would that be possibly a survival check as I try and bribe the DM with my better stat?
No.
No.
What did you say it was then?
Insight.
Insight check.
Okay, that's still good.
Good try
18.
though.
I
Thank
mean, you have a pretty decent memory. I mean, it'd be easier if you had Max's sketchbooks because he took a very detailed sketch of it.
Yeah.
It's
Did he leave
possible.
his sketchbooks?
It's possible one of the scribes might have some of those sketches because a lot of that was turned over to folks as far as the information, especially related to Tercasta's lair. But size-wise and comparison, it feels like it could be. But, whether that was a stone representation of a foot or something that had been turned to stone, still not completely known. But size-wise, it feels like it's comparable.
Yeah, I think it's about the same. I mean, I'm no Titan.
So Jocasta is
know it
not
all.
a titan.
How
the
big was the
statues-
foot? Like, and then It's called Apollo like lifts up his own foot. Was it like 3 of these? Or was it like, and then he points at Valev's feet, or 3 of those?
No, it was like 3 of you.
Oh.
Bigger than that, right?
Well, how tall
How
is
big
Apollo?
was it, Jason?
It was pretty big. I mean,
Like 30 feet long and
Like a school bus size.
yeah, it was big.
Oh.
A foot.
Titan. Really big.
this
Really
thing's
big.
probably 100 feet tall.
Like 100 of my feet or like 100 of Apollo's feet?
100 of Apollo's feet.
That's
have a
yeah,
headache.
that's big. That's
Yeah.
pretty tall.
It's like 300 of my feet.
Is there anything strong to drink around here? Don't drink often, but I feel like I need to drink.
There's a horse trough right over there.
It's
That's
probably pretty
that's
strong.
probably got a pretty strong flavor to it.
Mm-hmm. Why did you bathe in it?
I was just gonna say what?
Did I? Gold shot, you're funny. Oh, that would require me to
doesn't
bathe.
bathe.
You silly.
There's always hope.
I'll just spritz him down with some lavender when
some-
he's not looking.
At some point during this lighthearted conversation, you hear someone clear their throat. Sorry to disturb you. You look over and there's Captain Brackus kind of just
Oh, hi.
off to the side looking at all of you as busy folks are going back and forth behind him. See that Lord Silverhand's pavilion's now completely down. Things are being packed away. People are moving and shifting. You can also make out Arena and Goldshaw. You can make out where Vimac and Rove are currently standing off to the side having a conversation with Vert. Brackus just kind of standing at the table and goes, well, I don't mean to bother your breakfast. I have a couple questions for you, if you could possibly help me out for a moment.
You sit.
You watch
What is
as
it?
he clears a space on the table and he pulls out a map and lays it down. And it's a pretty incredible map of the Jasper Mining Colony region, and begins to point out how between the scribe's notes, Max's notes, and the information that you guys had all aggregated and handed over, he's had one of the map makers or cartographers make this map for military use. And you can see just very excellent kind of points of interest. You can see that there's really only 2 ways to get in and out of that location if you're using wagons and stuff like that. And he kind of explains this over the period of 5 or 10 minutes. And he just kind of looks at, well, I guess he'd look mostly at Goldshaw and Arena, because most of the others, Derek being off having a sidebar moment down in the deep woods with his new friend.
The nymph Trist.
Side quest.
Well, you know, I
Yes.
don't want to get too carried away, you know, as they say.
Oh, okay.
The nymph name is Omaniac.
Apollo is going to look at the map upside down
Okay.
and just try to study it as much as possible.
Give me an intelligence check. So, young Arena, Goldshaw.
Yeah.
Does this map look fairly accurate to you?
Well, I look at it.
I'm looking at it too. Does it look fairly accurate to me?
I'm getting feedback on you again, Apollo.
A 23.
Okay. Oddly enough for you, Apollo, it does make a considerable amount of sense. I mean, you don't get to view maps that often, but absorbing the information, studying it, and pulling it into your thought process, you're like, huh, it's actually pretty well drawn and well thought out. It's very much in a military mindset, which would often relate to you because Vimac would review maps with his men and women on occasion. Yes, young Arena, Goldshaw, does this seem fairly accurate to you?
Does it? I'm looking at it.
Yeah, you don't even
Studying
need to
it.
roll. It looks pretty accurate. I mean,
Okay.
his finger is on the
Yeah.
map, and he's pointing to the ridgeline that you remember finding Max and Beloy the first time. And then he points to the area where you had chased one group of slavers out of the valley and over towards the edge of the forest. And, you know, he starts conferring with 2. He goes, Well, if you're to take wagons, these are the only 2 points to come and go within a halfway decent egress. So, what I've been thinking is I've been able to gather about 800 men, women, and strong folk to help bolster our armed forces. I've had a thought. Courtesy of some of your own insights, well, perhaps merely blockading those points, keeping them contained until our numbers improve. I agree with you, Golshaw, and I spoke with Unther in regards to this as well. I do not believe I have sufficient trained individuals, but here's the thing. If we can hold those 2 positions, we can effectively cut off their ability to raid deep into the Maw Bridge region, and we can keep them out of the deep west of the very edge of our control over by Traverton. The roads there have gotten busy again, and I do believe, he kind of side glances over at Scorch, regardless of mistakes, because mistakes will happen, we're all the better for that slaver unit being taken out of the picture. They are not raiding that far west anymore. I think we can contain this menace until we regroup, resupply, and refocus our efforts on taking back the Jasper mining colony. At this point, you can hear the voice of Lord Silverhand kind of in maybe a few feet off. Good morning, daughter. Good morning, all. I see we are conferring with Master Brackus here. Do you tend to agree
morning.
with his insights? I did give him your warnings in regards to the numbers, superiority of forces, and evidently Master Brackus, or Captain Brackus, depending on who you speak to, has been spending time with that other captured wagon that we have down in Whist in the possession of the Chimera Mercantile. And there is concern that perhaps all of the slaver hordes on the other side of the Jasper mining colony could potentially be armed with these firing weapons that all of you have discovered. I have a concern about that.
Bang sticks. We should call them bang sticks.
Well, that's doesn't roll off the tongue that well, but it is quite provocative, perhaps. Thoughts?
I believe that's a sound tactical plan. If we can contain them until
Where's
perhaps
young
we could study these weapons and make more of them for our forces. And
Where's young Max? I was hoping he could review this map for me. Where's he gone?
Max?
gone to Thay.
Yeah.
Really? That was
Yeah.
quite sudden.
They came to
Yes.
collect him.
They came to collect him. Interesting.
Yeah.
They.
Yeah, the emissaries that you met with. They know
Oh,
him.
I remember the individual kind of looked like a rock elemental of sorts, who had come
Yes.
through Whist some time ago. Huh,
Mhm.
shame. Theater's
Yeah.
almost complete.
Well, he'll be back, and until then, we can get the
We can find someone
productions
to run it.
going, what have you, for that. But
Good. Well, I'm glad I have your input from the plan perspective. Lord Silverhand, do you mind if I carry out these orders? Oh, by all means, Captain, please do. Captain Brackus looks at all of you, nods, and kind of turns and makes his way back out of the immediate area. Lord Silverhand just smiles and goes over back to confer with some other lieutenants and captains and sergeants. It would seem he still requires some folks to station here. Hey, Mead, 1991, how you doing? So he's obviously in the process of setting up a garrison here as well. Even though most of the construction site is being brought down and things are being hauled off, a lot of what were temporary buildings are almost becoming a small kind of village of sorts, almost like he's in hopes of establishing some kind of foothold here to allow people to, traverse the Maw Chasm Bridge, organize it, and whatever. So Lord Silverhand will be here for at least one more day finalizing those plans. You can see Vert, Rove, and Vimac speaking in their own conversation off to the side. No sign of Tamlin anywhere. Just a lot of hustle, bustle, activity, people moving around.
I'll go talk to Lord Silverhand real quick.
He's amongst some of his soldiers. You make your way over to him. What are the rest of you doing with your morning at this point?
I am gonna make sure that we're all packed up and in our wagon in Vardo.
Okay. Kai, what would you like to do with your time this morning?
Yeah, I'll probably feed my horse, make sure she's brushed down properly, and get her all saddled up nicely, because I like to take care of that myself whenever I can.
Okay. Valev?
Gonna be hanging out with Scorch, practicing with the bang staff, the rifle. Um, and then yeah, try and decide if when to tell the group about Scorch's offer to possibly go with him and see what that would be like.
Okay.
So just, yeah, a lot of thinking and just kind of discussing with Scorch some more of like the options of when he was wanting to leave and if the group might come with us and stuff like that.
Apollo, what are you doing with your morning?
Apollo's probably just oh, what the heck? He's probably honestly kind of just doing his own thing, kind of surveilling what everybody else is doing, because he usually doesn't do much besides follow orders.
Right.
So
What's your passive perception?
passive perception is 14.
Okay.
Oh,
Is it
18.
18?
Sorry,
Okay.
18.
All right. Gulshaw, you make your way over to Lord Silverhand. Valev, Scorch kind of leans into your ear and goes, "Can you show me those bang sticks that you were talking about? I think that would be interesting."
Yeah, do you want to learn how to shoot one?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Okay.
And the two of you kind of jump up and make your
no.
way towards
Absolutely.
the
The
range.
kids are
What
playing
could
with
possibly
guns
go wrong?
unattended,
Kai,
yeah.
you watch as a 1,000-year-old soul walks away with an 18-year-old to go experiment with firearms, and you barely get the brush through the mane of your horse before you begin to wonder. You can hear the clicking and clacking
We
gear,
go far away so we don't bother
but
anybody.
you can hear the clicking and clacking noise of your construct kind of sitting on your shoulders, shaking its head in wonder, silent wonder, not yet imbued with a voice, but the clicks and clacks kind of help you out a bit. Arena, you're continuing to, and at this point, Arena, there's at least half a dozen individuals around that are all firebrands that are helping you pack everything up. There's hardly a finger you have to lift. You just basically supervise. You're like sitting on the back of Ghost, very hobgoblin-y, kind of sitting like that and just pointing and telling all of your folks what to do. Gulshaw, you step alongside to catch Lord Silverhand's attention. He kind of nods away one of the sergeants and turns to you. He goes, "Oh, Gulshaw, good to see you. What can I do for you?"
Lord, soon I will make my way to the Ashram Temple, deep into the mountains.
Is that
To
advisable? Those are beyond our areas of control. I don't think anybody has made it that far in some time. I'm familiar with some of your intent. I've spoken with Unther through message and conversation. It's a long journey.
It is. But in the meantime, what we're dealing with, it's not just slavers, it's Mercure, the Lord of Bones, is behind some of these machinations, and any troops that we have will need spiritual help. And
This is a good point.
and in that thinking, I was wanting to establish an armed knighthood of the Raven Queen to patrol the roads, to protect the travelers, and to bolster our troops with small contingents of them so they may use their powers to fight off whatever comes.
Walk with me for a moment, Gulshaw. And the two of you he begins to walk away towards the Maw Bridge.
I walk with him.
Okay. Go ahead and give me persuasion check with advantage, because I like that. That went well.
Okay.
This is why he has the high charisma.
Yep. So it'll be 23.
As the two of you are walking, he seems very much taken with the idea, to the point where he begins to talk about the old gods. I don't know much. Well, I guess they're not really. And he kind of looks around and says, we can speak freely with each other. You know what I am, and I know who you are. I know what the gods were. I know that I am but a fraction or a fracture of what I was, and I'm becoming something different while I'm here. I'm beginning to understand how time and the idea of this works. I very confused at first. I was quite terrified, to be honest with you. I was somewhere else. I was doing other things in a time that I felt needed me then. When Vert and Tamlin pulled me back to this point in time and then persuaded me to help with what's going on now, it seemed like the right decision to make. I think I've made the right decision. It brought both you and Arena to me, and now that I've had an evening to think on it, Gulshaw, as you explained the previous day, I did feel a bit of a touch of the goddess on me. I felt a bit of her soul bring me back from my fractured time of existence, so she must have a faith in me. This is something I wish to explore, and I hope I can explore it with you. But if you look, and he kind of gestures his hand at the bridge, there are just throngs of people coming across, of all folk. Goblin and orc and half-orc, humanoids of all sorts commingling with each other. Humans of the far east, the far north, those that were scrabbling for existence along the border regions of old communities long collapsed, all showing signs of long travel, desperation, hunger, even some bearing the scars of plague that has been quite rampant across most of the regions of the realms. And he looks, I've got to believe in this is our future. I've got to believe that as these people continue to flock towards what we are attempting to build, there is a reason for this. If an old god of death and chaos has returned, and your god, S, has returned, and others are beginning to come back, perhaps it's this hope that, well, garners us the opportunity to turn disaster into fortune. I believe that in this crowd is what you need. So, as long as your recruitment and your guidance happens on the territory that we control, you have my full blessing. Build your churches, start your academies, build your schools. We will do what we can to help you. Hey, Hard Knock Dice, thanks for the raid. I really appreciate it. If you've taken the time to understand and learn what you can about the Raven Queen, I still am not sure about why Bane has taken an interest in you. I know that the understanding of what he is has, well, played out quite differently. I get that. I still have concerns. if this old god Merkel has returned, and whether it's connected to the fractured pieces of me coming back from the past and presenting in the future. Don't know. I'm still working with Tamlin and Verd on that. I feel like the refraction cube somehow is involved with this. But, well, I can only do what I can only do, and you can only do what you can. Right now, thousands depend on us, including your friends. Investing in the Chimera Mercantile, investing in you and yours, I think is the right thing to do. It feels like the right thing to do. But know this, at some point, in a few months' time, we'll be holding our first annual council of the unified Whist. Well, we're still working on a name. I've recalibrated and reorganized it because, well, to be honest with you, it was the other Silverhands that organized this, and there's a bit of a gap in the information and knowledge. So I've decided, based on the completion of the bridge, you and your friends taking over Traverton and the growth of the Chimera, well, I think it's important that perhaps we build something different. We build something new that kind of represents just how many people we can expect over the next few months and even by the end of this year. Your thoughts?
Oh, it's going to be so many people.
Going to be an influx of people. I've hired the mercenary company, and they're going to be escorting knowledgeable people to inhabit Traverton and help us with the growth that's going to occur there. I feel that traveling to this temple that I speak of, when I speak to my goddess and to the other gods, they say this temple is going to be, I believe it's going to be eye-opening. I have a feeling that it's not just, this temple's not just about the Raven Queen. I think it's going to bring forth some revelations, and perhaps even, I think the gods are coming back and they're getting to, I don't know, choose or re-choose what
I can tell you
what
this.
aspects of life that they control. I don't know. I'm just getting hints, but I believe going to this temple will be a revelation for me. It will make me think differently.
I can at least tell you this much, Gulshaw. I do have some basic understanding of the Oshram Temple. It does lie in the most, well, reclusive area of the Warntooth Mountains. I believe my old self would have, well, I have a memory of it. During my time, it was not abandoned. It was used. And the sages that were there were considered to be the very core of her existence. They would go there to commune with her, and they would take the time to take new writings out upon the rest of the world. I don't know if it's something that we should continue, but perhaps it's worth fostering. I don't know. I don't know about the old records. Valev, EMP Studios, sharing the bits. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
I'm not in these scenes and I don't know Twitch very well, and I was like, oh, what's this button do? And I'm like just figuring it out. I'm just like watching us.
Yeah, by all means, enjoy it. It's fun.
There's 7,800 bits. I'm like, I don't know what these do. Press them and donate. Let's go.
Thank you. Well,
but
my goddess brought me to an area that had a scroll that talks about the Ashram Temple, and I believe it's her wish that I go there.
Well, let's look at it from this perspective. what you were but a few months ago when I met you, I guess it's been more than a few months. It's been since winter and spring. You've changed both me and others around you. Unther has become a very big driving force. Hey, Chav Hunter. I think this is all fated somehow. Because had you not interceded, this form would have died. And yet again, Vert and Tamlin would have struggled to find another, set these things up to be happened all over again. I don't know. Hey, Fear DOA, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. I worry. I worry that there are, and this was something that even my wife and my daughter have said to me on numerous occasions. I worry that we're building too fast, but I don't know what else to do. I can't just let these people starve. I can't let them suffer. I feel like this is a fated reality that we must follow, but I feel like the choices that we're going to make to get there are still undecided. Does that make sense to you?
The future is not written. We don't know what will happen, but
the past is.
We're here now in this place at this time. Thank the gods that you were here at this place and time to lead us and to lead these people. And I believe in you. And I think if there's anyone that can do this, it's you, it's us. We can do this.
Well, with that kind of honesty and that kind of, bravado, at least allow me to contribute. Here, take this. And he hands you a map case. Everything that me and my folks could dig up on the Oshram Temple is in this case. Notes, maps, best that my, memory can serve. I wish you didn't have to go. I wish you could stay and enjoy what you and your friends have built. Whether you go now or later, I don't know, but at least speak with Unther first when we get back to Whist. There's a few more things I think we should do before making too rash a decision. I think convincing Brachus to keep the Jasper mining colony contained is the right thing to do for now. We've stopped their raids. We've gotten control over our areas that we require control over. Losing Jasper mining colony was a significant hit, but we'll find new mines. We'll find other ways to get the resources that we need. But I don't want to lose you and your friends. I think that would be a great loss. And it'd be a great loss to my daughter as well. She's grown quite fond of all of you. And she is matured in ways, I no longer fear her being out in the world.
She's a very capable person. She's saved us all at times, and you shouldn't worry. She's her own now.
But it's a father to worry all the time.
I understand.
I mean, let's face it, you worry about Arena constantly. I know it.
Well, yes, but
just hope she never forgets to feed her wolf. That would be interesting to see what would happen if that ever transpired. I kid, but I just hope. Well, yes. Anyways,
I don't know.
Enjoy the information.
Thank you.
I will be in Whist for the next 2 or 3 weeks. I do plan on traveling all of the communities for the most of the summer, checking in on all of my regents, making sure everybody is taken care of, being settled. I would not linger outside of Traverton too much longer. I would recommend that you and your friends at some point pay a visit there. I think sending Vimac there is a good start. But with that, Golshaw, good luck, God's journey, and hopefully you find what you're looking for.
Thank you, Lord.
And you watch as he goes without any threat to his own physical body whatsoever, although you could see his personal retinue kind of off to the sides. kind of just meanders into the throngs of people coming through, and you can hear him, pointing out where one of the soup kitchens are, shaking the hands of another, pulling like a handful of coin out of one of his small bags, handing it off to a handful of people. There's a genuineness here to help people, and you kind of feel like that you and the others are responsible for this. This is probably because of your involvement with the Raven Queen and that bringing his fractured sense of being back together. This feels okay to you. Off in the distance, you can hear a lot of laughing and a significant amount of gunfire. Valev, you and Scorch are at the shooting range, and after about 5 or 10 minutes of you showing him how these things worked, you're already conducting like parlor tricks. He'll line up 10 of the shooters, and then he'll just like blow a 10-foot like stream of flame across all the hammer pans on all the rifles, and they all go off at the same time. And people just start laughing and betting coins and just having a great old time.
It's good. They need this type of celebration. This is a big few days for them.
And he kind of leans down and goes, yeah, especially if a creature the size of a mountain's out there walking around about to kill. Anyways, just
Yeah,
throw that out there. I know we shouldn't probably, we shouldn't probably talk about that out loud. I mean, I appreciate you holding off and keeping it to
to the group. Yeah, keep it tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really
How
sure.
far away is the celebration?
Say that again, Apollo?
How far away is this celebration?
I mean, you can hear the gunfire off in the distance near the shooting range. And you're kind of part of your meandering around, taking things in. You can actually see where Kai is over by her horse, getting it ready. Arena is getting all of the equipment packed up and getting it ready for the journey back to Whist. You can see where Valev and Scorch and a string of individuals are shooting off rifles at the firing range. You watch as Gulshah's off in the distance, still conversing with Lord Silverhand. And everything around you is coming down. Everything around you is moving and shifting. Valev, Scorch leans down and goes, that Lady Silverhand is clever, do you think? She seems to know a great deal about machinery and things, gears, how they work.
Oh yeah, she's really smart. Have you seen her little well, it's kind of a dragon, but it's parts, it's pieces, it's like a little toy.
Well,
but it's also alive.
Yeah,
I
was wondering about that. I'm wondering. I have some ideas about these weapons. I don't know why I have these ideas, but what if we could make a whole bunch of them shoot at the same time? That seems clever, doesn't it?
Seems like it would do a lot of damage.
Well, I mean, given the right circumstance, I can do a lot. I can do a lot of damage.
Yeah. Of course, because
Well, because I'm me.
Yeah. Yeah, but we should talk to her because she would think that's really cool, and she probably has an idea, and she probably maybe has already started sketching some stuff out.
Knowing her, I would imagine she probably has, but yes. Let's finish off this interesting game we're playing and gather everybody up, and let's talk about things. They need to know just how important that crater is that we found. Because you could be right. Perhaps something fell or crawled out. I don't know for sure, but you have folks in your group that are quite intelligent.
Yeah. What's that? What?
Yeah, exactly. But that's okay. We'll get you there, Valev. And you watch as another group step up, and he fires off the flame out of his mouth, and all the guns kind of like bang off at the same time. So the morning goes by. Everything is packed up. Kai, you have fed and taken care of your horse. Valev and Scorch, you've spent the morning. Gulshah, you've spoken with Lord Silverhand. Apollo, any last minute things you'd like to do before we move on?
Yeah, Apollo's gonna walk up to Arena, and while she's grooming her horse, and he's over here like,
It's Kai that's
You-
grooming her horse.
oh, it's Kai.
Yeah.
My bad, Kai. That's grooming her horse, and he's gonna be like, you ride this, correct?
Yes, this is Nikhil.
Um, I'm not too. I've seen people ride it, but how do I put this? I usually just run along with them.
Oh. Well, I know we do have rams also available if you're too big for a horse, or if you've never tried to ride one before. I
We
could
also
try
have a
and
wagon.
teach you. Yes, we also have a wagon you could ride along, so you don't have to walk.
They look very intimidating for to ride on.
Oh, they are not. They're very nice. See, pet Nikhil. See, you put your hand out and let him smell you first.
Give me
The
And stroke
Apollo.
his
Yeah,
nose.
Apollo. Give me animal handling with advantage because Kai is helping you.
I was gonna say his hand twitches, but let's see, animal handling with advantage. Oof. Sorry if you hear that in the background. I still got two 16s either way.
Hey.
I mean,
So
it's
dirty
the
20.
yeah. It seems to respond to you because Kai is there. There's no immediate malicious intent of the horse. I mean, it's quite terrifying thing to look at, but it seems docile, seems domesticated. It's not quite like the wild prairie horses that you've seen out in the Far East, but yeah, it seems to respond.
And he looks at it, and then like as he's like brushing like the hairs of it, he looks at his little cloth on his hand, and he's over here like, and tries to like tie it around it, and he's like, okay. Ugh. And he can't actually get to it because it's too small.
Yeah, it
And he's just
can't
over here
tie
like,
it on like a doggy.
eh. And then he tries to go at it. It's one of its feet and just ties it around one of its hooves, actually.
Give me another animal handling check.
You're trying to get kicked by Nikhil, is that it?
Sounds like it.
Maybe. I guess I don't have advantage on this one.
No, she's not helping you tie it onto the horse, so no.
Took me by surprise just as much as the horse.
Like,
Oh,
what are
20
you trying to tie onto my horse?
24. Yeah.
Oh.
That's a natural 20, I guess.
All right.
It seems
Well,
to, yeah.
not mine.
As everybody else is done with their activities and they all kind of come over to watch you do this, it's strange. Even Kai, you even notice your horse looks at you with a weird kind of glance, like, "What the fuck is going on here?" But
Raise my shoulders and I don't know.
seems to allow Apollo to tie it on to her hoof. With that, you guys can see where Arena, Gulshaw, Kai, Valev, Scorch, everybody is back over, getting ready and prepared. It's now mid-morning. You've consumed most of the morning. A lot of the construction personnel and others are beginning to head out, either towards Woolsville, back towards Whist, or some of the other far-flung communities nearby. It does seem to be that there is a small contingent being left behind, and that seems to be being organized by Silverhand. Lord Silverhand comes up to you, Kai. Dada, good to see you before you leave. Just so you and your friends know, I do plan on staying here a couple more days. I will be back in
Hey,
Whist
brother.
within the next 3 or 4 days. I'm hoping I can meet you all at the Chimera for drinks. And, well, actually, I just found out from Captain Brackus, you're in for a bit of a surprise when you get back. If anything, this influx of personnel have given us more hands mean less work, if you get my meaning. I believe the construction of the tavern portion is now complete, ready to be
Ooh.
opened, stocked, employed, which I
Neat.
don't think there'll be any shortage of people that will want to work there.
Oh, wonderful. That's so great to hear.
Good.
Well, travel safe, daughter.
You too, Father, and be sure to tell Blaze hello for me when you get back.
I will. And you
You
got
also cat.
he turns and begins to walk towards where there's a rather large gathering of his personal guard and some other folks. It's mid-morning. People seem to be heading out. What would you guys like to do?
See you, Lord Sylvie.
All right, guys, where do we want to head?
Goodbye, Velev. Good luck.
Travel safe.
You too.
Traverton by way of Whist. I need to speak with Lord Unther.
Traverton by way of Whist.
If not,
Okay.
I can go by myself. It's whatever.
Oh, I think Traverton.
Nah, that sounds good.
I think Whist is on the way to Traverton, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
So we
Yeah,
can
so-
follow along.
Go down to Whist and then stop by at the Chimera and then go down to Traverton.
You think the armory's done yet?
Uh, the one that we just had. Oh, you mean in Whist?
I don't.
Okay.
Is that where it was that we were gonna have our dragon scale shields made, but we were waiting because we had to save
Yes.
the
Yes.
forge? Oh, okay.
Um,
How long does that take to build?
it depends on how many people they put on it. More hands equals less work.
Well, if they've gotten our tavern built already,
Yeah.
I'd imagine that that's probably on
It's
its way.
pretty
because
high
it's-
on the priority
That's a
list.
very important thing to
Yeah.
have in a town.
We have the mercen. Is that nice? Is that a nice thing to call them?
Well,
Mercenaries?
they're now
That's what they
people that
are
are
for
under
now.
our employ.
But so we do they have a name? They have a name. The
Firebrand.
Brigade.
Firebrand.
Oh, the Firebrand.
Yes.
Okay,
Mercenaries, Firebrand, we're all. It's
so-
all the same.
so the Firebrand, they're gonna need people to like make their weapons and stuff. So hopefully that forge is done, and maybe we can pick up our shields when
Yeah. Well, we still
When
have
we-
to go
when we
back
stop
and
by.
talk to. Hold on, I'm gonna look up his name again. Blackthorn Snarltooth.
Yeah, the gnome.
The gnome. Yeah. So I gave the by the way, Jason, I gave the Firebrands, the head guy,
Yep.
the letter to take down to Traverton.
The letter of introduction. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
He has it.
Yep. So let's go to Whist.
Okay, so before we like get on the road, Scorch, do you or should do you,
I think
I
it's a,
can't if you do you want
No,
you go ahead.
I think it's a good discussion while on the road. There are many ears here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just a thought.
Oh wait, this is the thing where you touch your nose like, hey, like I get it,
I have
right?
no idea why you would do that, but I can do that.
I don't know either, but I saw somebody do it once, and I thought
Gotcha.
that meant you understand.
I don't know what that means. I
Apollo's
thought
gonna pat Velev on his back and back. Are you ready now?
I thought it meant your nose itched.
Yeah.
But yeah, perhaps we can have this discussion on the way.
Okay.
So with that, everybody kind of gathers their last few belongings, taking in the
Social cues and timing.
taking in the construction site around you, now complete. The mob bridge, great groups of people coming across. You can even see that there's fewer people camped on the other side as it's all being collapsed in on itself. But you get the feeling that the road home's going to be a lot easier than the road here. Hey, good night, Carney. Thanks for dropping by.
Good night.
Right.
You get the feeling that heading home is going to be an easier journey than getting here. The raids have subsided. dealing with the ruined capsule or castle location seem to have kind of garnered a little bit more of a safe route. And the volume of people making their way back towards the west and towards the deeper portion of the Midlands is clearly going to make things a bit easier. So with that, the journey is going to take at least 2 days. So you have 2 days to do whatever you want. You even have some of the Firebrand mercenaries with you, but Vimac and Rove have taken half the number ahead already, and the other half have been left with you to kind of ride with you and travel with you back towards Whist. They have their own individual instructions, but they know who hired them. They know who's paying their wage. And for all of you taking this time, it's an interesting assortment of individuals. There are female and male. There's the occasional... the female bugbears by far are quite large and quite demonstrative in their behavior. There are humans as well, female and male. It doesn't seem to be like any kind of rule or rhyme to them other than the fact they all look very much like hardened fighters. People that have seen very severe and difficult days, and this is what's left. This is the group that has been able to survive.
Are there any younger folk?
Your passive would be high enough that actually is something that is quite noticeable by you. There aren't very many young individuals amongst this group. They all seem to be of Midland to near Midland in age, as far as you know about ages are concerned, but heavily scarred, many of them wearing bounties or trophies of their activities, most wielding or carrying or festooned in attire that just speaks of veteran behavior. Individuals that seem very confident in who they are and the capacity and capability of what they do for a living.
How many of the Firebrand are with us on this trip?
At least 12.
Oh, okay, wow.
I was gonna say you see all that, and then you see Apollo, just in his regular attire.
In fact, Apollo might be the youngest of the group.
Wait, of the Firebrands?
Yeah, of the Firebrands.
Okay. How old are you, Apollo?
Apollo would be about 25 years old.
25. Okay. Shoot, what did I put down? How
I'm
old
gonna
is the
study
Oh, okay.
that
Yeah, Kai's 21. She's
information
not
that
old.
Lord Silverhand gave me on our trip.
It's up to you.
I'm going to continue practicing with my bang staff.
Okay.
Of course you are.
So Gulshaw, you're studying the maps and notes that were given to you by Lord Silverhand. Valev, you're proficient. You're practicing your proficiency.
Yes, and then also
Hoping to improve his proficiency.
exactly hoping to gain
Proficiency.
proficiency
Oh, yeah.
over a course of extended, montages of practicing. But we'd also want to talk to Kai about that idea that Scorch had about making some type of contraption to make it multiple of these guns go at once, or just
see.
cool upgrades that might work that
Fair
she
enough.
can, like tinker around with.
Give
Kai has
me
ideas already.
give me an intelligence check. Valev.
Which
Yep.
Oh,
Ah.
like
Gulshaw, give me an investigation check, please.
intelligence check.
Yep. D20 and then add your intelligence
check,
modifier.
Check,
But why though?
Because he
Okay.
wants to check something.
Not terrible. Not terrible. I got a 16.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
My intelligence is -1, so I rolled a 7.
I'll say the actual mechanics of the device are quite simple. There's very few moving parts, and the parts that require any movement appear to be easily manufactured, easily disassembled and reassembled. You even realize that this may be the point of why this thing is so efficient. You begin to realize, though, at certain ranges, this thing gets less efficient. The shooting too far with it, it seems to become more difficult to hit things with it. But because it's mechanical in nature and it's organized and built the way it is, it's a pretty simple design. Given some time to pull it apart and work with someone who understands tinkering, you might even be able to come up with multiple methods of production or even ways of augmenting the ones that you guys have, including the wagon load that you were given, and God knows whatever was in that wagon that was left behind in Whist.
Nice.
So what do you think, Kai?
I'm thinking, what if your gun could shoot multiple times per round? When you pull the chamber, it releases out, or you pull the trigger, the chamber releases more than one bullet.
That would be neat. I mean, I could shoot something twice in about 6 seconds.
I would think so. An automatic sort of situation, I think. We could do that with all the different types of weapons.
That would be neat.
Very interesting. I don't understand how this machinery works.
I don't either,
You point it,
but
and
Kai
then
draws
you
it in
pull
her
the
book,
trigger,
and then she
and
makes
goes-
it. So
I just, and then he grabs his spear, and he's like, I just stab stuff with this, and then he grabs his sword in this. And it tends to work out for me.
That's
Ooh.
what I do.
I'm
also.
gonna pull out my demon claw spear of advantage, and I'm going to show it to Tusk and say, "I like stabbing things with this."
She
We
shows.
got it from a demon.
Yeah, from your perspective, Apollo, it looks like a short sword, something that's kind of small in overall stature. But when Arena holds it, it's kind of a nice lance
spear.
if you're on the back of a wolf.
Mhm.
Size does matter. Gulshaw, what'd you get on your investigation check?
I got a 14.
14. Examining the maps and the notes, there seems to be a possible egress up to the particular spire that's been noted. A lot of the notes don't make a lot of sense because they're written in old languages of a time that you're not necessarily familiar with. But somewhere amongst this information and the physical location, there's a known pathway up to the location. It's just a matter of finding it. If you search in those areas while you contain or hold or have possession of these notes and information, you'll gain advantage on your checks. So day one goes by without any challenges. During the travel of day two, as you are now amongst more familiar territory, the familiar farmlands, the occasional woodcutter fields that when you get near some of the forests, deciding that you have enough equipment and material and food, not stopping off in Woolville. But at some point, the magistrate kind of rides out to meet you, rides with you for a little bit, kind of singing and strumming her bard-like lute and seeming to bring up the overall energy of the team. Everybody now has a D12 inspiration for the next 24 hours.
Is she sad that Derek's not there?
She seems to spend some time looking for him and realizing that he's not there. She seems a bit crestfallen, a bit upset.
Aw. So
But-
would now be a good time to have that conversation, Scorch?
Yes, I believe so. I think we should let the others finish what they're doing, but yeah, I believe so. With this, she has ridden off already. Most of the firebrand are kind of spread out. Occasionally, you are now seeing patrols from Whist, as the Crown's Guard, traveling in groups of 5 and 7, can be seen from time to time. New faces, not a lot of familiar faces anymore. It's been probably almost a week and a half, I think, since you guys have been in Whist at this point. About 7 or 10 days, I think you've been gone. I believe it was like 2 or 3 days up. Then losing a day and a half to deal with the forest, and day of celebration, 2 to 3 days traveling back. So it's been a little bit of a journey. At some point, all of you are kind of on your own, but gathered together either on wagon, horseback, or wolfback, however you're traversing the roads. It's afternoon. It's a bit warmer than usual, as summer has already kind of begun to a certain respect. Spring is waning, summer heat kind of sets in a bit, but not erratic like the weather used to be. The way the weather used to be for a lot of you, from a memory perspective, was quite terrifying, to say the least. This is one of the first normal, semi-normal winters, springs, and now it even looks like summer may be relatively normal. So, Velev, why don't you tell them?
Okay. Group? I just realized we don't have like a team name or anything. Hey everybody. Golshock, hi
Yeah.
Arena.
Yes,
Apollo, come over
Velev.
here.
We need a team name.
Not with it, 5-foot man.
Okay, 5.5.
Yes, Velev. What do you need?
Two things. One, I feel like we need a team name, and that everybody should start thinking about it, because I mean, as a group, we kind of are doing a lot of stuff, and like, there's a town that we take care of, and also like now we have this big group of fighters, and they have a really cool name. And I think we should have a name. I think it's really important, and it's all
Velev,
about branding.
Velev,
Yeah, sorry.
you're stalling. You're stalling.
Um,
Just tell them.
so
We could be the Scorchketeers.
Oh, I like that.
I love it. It's so good. Okay. The other thing was, I know we have a lot to do, but Scorch said that he has this kind of big journey ahead, and he asked if I wanted to go with him. And I really do. It would be, I think it would be, I mean, a lot of fun, obviously, but it also seems like it's really, really important.
Where?
Yes, where are you going, Velev?
I I don't know where.
We're going to go look for Kendall Keep.
Yeah, that thing. What? Somebody has these really big candles, and they've been keeping them all to themselves. And Scorch wants to light one of them on fire, because then it's a really I don't know what it is, but he said it's really important, and I don't know if you guys can go, but it would be really good if you did. But if you can't, I understand.
How far of a day travel would this be?
I don't know.
Scorch.
It could be weeks, days, months. I'm not entirely sure where to look.
Scorch,
Yes.
could you please translate everything Velev just said?
I believe you call that nervous behavior. Basically,
Hey,
So
you're
you want
nervous.
to travel to a place called Candle Keep for...
I have a mind of a name and a place that I think I am supposed to go to. What Velev has given me is something I don't think I'm supposed to have, which is free will. I think I was designed for a purpose. Some of those lingering thoughts and what my design was are still with me. And I have a notion to look for a place called Candle Keep. Don't know why. I'm not sure what it means, but the intensity and the understanding of it are there in my head.
Is that a place I could have possibly read about?
Give me a history check.
How about me? Wait, what's my history? Is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
Always worth it to try.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to.
All right, go for it. Because you're all gathered with this
Oh, I got a natty 20.
-4.
No, mine is +6. Thank you very much.
I have a +5, so I got a 22.
Okay. For Arena,
Arena was born there. It's her hometown.
Your insistence to cling on to the pantheon understanding of the twins
Mhm.
has garnered you opportunities to read and study books that have mentioned a place called Candlekeep, a great repository of information of the old world before the Rift Wars occurred. It is said to be one of the first places that succumbed and was destroyed, and it's fallen mostly into lore and interpretation by those that have gleaned bits and pieces. But your understanding of it, Arena, is basically a massive library, a great library of both information related to scrolls, books, journals, and even possible relics, which for you, Kai, is you've mostly heard of it because of your father's interactions with Vert. They have both agreed that getting or finding Candlekeep at some point should be some level of a priority. Vert and Lord Silverhand are convinced that somewhere deep in the bowels of this old place is a great vault of relics from the old world. And to get access to this vault and find these relics may be applicable to all the activities that they're attempting to accomplish here.
Okay.
Are you relaying any of this?
I would
I'm
be.
going to, yeah, I'm gonna say I think it's a giant library that has a lot of relics in it, and I've read about it, and I would really be interested in going. And I think Vert and Kai, your dad, I think Lord Silverhand would be really interested.
Oh, yes,
Would
it's
these
something he has
relics?
spoken about before. So I know my father would be very interested in us going
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, he's
So-
all about the relics.
I don't mean to be rude, but my invitation was for Velev.
Oh,
That's what it sounded like. Well, Valev, good luck to you in your travels. And
Oh,
come back, hurry back soon. I hope you survive.
Scorch, I thought that
Don't get eaten by a bird.
I
I'm
assumed
sure Scorch would take good care of you.
that they would come with us. I figured they could help because it's kind of what we've been doing for Lord Silver, finding these relics and everything. You know.
The intent was to travel quickly. I don't want
Well,
to.
Shaw's got a magic carpet.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to linger.
Doesn't
And
travel
no
as fast as a
offense,
dragon, I don't think.
no offense to Arena and the others, but inquisitive natures tend to slow me down.
Yeah, you know us. We're gonna want to inspect everything.
I am probably the most inquisitive person of all of us.
Yes, but it's an honest, naive, inquisitive nature. I can handle that. A full group traveling for an extended period of time will not be able to operate very quickly, or, how they say, without being seen if necessary. And based on my understanding, there are many things that most of you have on your plate at this point.
Oh yes, I have many things to do. I can't be leaving the area at this point. And good luck to you, Valev. I'm sure you'll do well. If you could find anything on the Merkill, the Lord of Bones, or my god, the Raven Queen, please pick that up for me. Other than that, good luck in your travels.
What did you also want any? If I find anything on the other one, Ball?
Oh, sure.
I'll let you
If you
know.
find anything that you think
Very
I would
excited
be
for you,
interested
Valev.
in, grab it. I would love to look at anything.
Anything? What, Kai?
Anything that you think I might find interesting, please grab it.
yeah,
So
same,
all of it.
same for me. Same for me. Anything that you think I might find interesting.
All,
Anything that deals with the twins.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Anything.
That would
Okay.
be good. Anything.
Um.
Surprise me. Just surprise me with something cool.
Arena, you know how you have the necklace that you Ghost goes in sometimes.
Mhm.
Where'd you get that? 'Cause
I found it.
if well, is there a bag or something that we can go to like a shop in case there's lots of books that can put lots of things
Oh, a
or
bag of
something like that?
clothing.
Yeah, I have a
Or like a
bag.
pocket or something?
Yeah, I have a.
Oh,
We
she
can
has a
go.
bag like that, but she'll never get it from her.
Um,
That's
Bag.
okay. Where did you get it? I can get another one.
It's Arena's thing.
Apollo reaches into his what's it called little bottoms and grabs it,
Loincloth.
His
He
loincloth.
reaches down into his
His
loincloth.
loincloth and pulls out
pours out a little
a
what's
wet
called
coin.
pouch, pours out a little pouch, and it's over here like, here, you just use this. Scott, it should be big enough for you.
Hey, Crown King, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it.
Oh
It's
god.
it's, it's a
A
little
bag
camp.
that smells like Valev.
Yeah,
Um,
Oh,
To be fair, it smells like dirt and trees and plants and things.
we're good. We're good. You should hold on to that. It's you. It feels like you
No.
need that. Is that like your coin purse?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I would.
Don't say it,
suggest,
Callista. Don't say it.
I would
I see that look on your face.
I'm saying nothing.
say it.
I'm saying nothing.
What? When did you start doing that? All right.
Well, Valev, let me know when you're going because I can put stuff inside the box in the wagon in the Vardo instead of the bag of holding, and I can let you use the bag of holding.
Also,
I'll bring
I
back
don't know
all the books and scrolls.
I don't know when you plan on leaving, but Lord
Oh.
Silverhand and Tamlin might have information that could help you on your journey.
Oh
Give
yeah, I
you some
definitely need to
information
talk to
about
them.
Candlekeep.
Yeah, because I'm sure if they have a particular artifact in mind that they're looking for, they'll have me try and find it. It's what I do. I'm good at it.
Well, you do your job and go on an adventure,
I know.
ride
But-
on a dragon. Very exciting.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. But also like we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back and we're gonna see how everything goes. Yeah, maybe we'll see if my shield might be ready before we leave. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll work on your shield. I mean, I'll have them work on your shield.
We
I'll get
have a
it ready
couple
for
of
you.
days, maybe, Scorch?
We have a few days, yes.
Okay,
At least
okay, yeah.
long enough for us to get settled in Whist and, well,
Get
take some time to
supplies.
ourselves and continue our plans. But I would like to leave before summer begins.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. That was good. It was
You know, you're very capable, Virgin. I mean, Valev, you have, made yourself large, and I think you'll be very capable.
And you can turn into a bear now.
That too.
yeah.
Yes. And just please don't get eaten by a bird.
I heard.
Yeah,
Well,
just
bird's
Yeah,
not big enough to
you're
eat
a
me.
few inches shorter than
only
Kai.
worried about. I'm the one that's more likely to get eaten by a bird. I've been eaten by a snake.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
That was a scary
like-
night.
It seems like a year ago that happened.
It's crazy.
It was a year ago.
So,
Was it really?
at the end of the second day, by evening, you are back on the outskirts of a familiar Whist, making your way
Yay.
through many more tents and gatherings, making your way through
Oh, jeez.
a bit more shanty fringe-like elements of the village itself, or town, city. It feels like a very large town on the cusp of trying to be a city now. There are a great deal, many of people that seem to have gathered since you've been gone. You can see that the majority of the theater is now complete. There's even kind of a little mini theater district being built up around it as jugglers and street performers are beginning to set up for their evening's activity. There are carts, kiosks, and wagons set up almost at every point. There seems to be a steady flow of almost market style kind of transactions going on. As you get close to the Chimera, and the familiar surroundings of the Chimera, not more than maybe 30, 40 feet off to the left of it, you can see what looks to be a 2-story building that has been completed in construction. Quite bereft of furnishings and completions on the outside. You get the feeling that the interior is quite possibly incomplete as well. All of this kind of just gives you this sense of completion. As it's now early evening, you're back at the Chimera, and the very first thing you notice is the High Moons come running out to greet all of you. Well, this is amazing. You're all still alive. This is great. Glad to see it. You guys might want to come see this really quick. Oh, don't go bothering them with business already. Let's get them unpacked.
No.
Let's get them home. And the High
What
Moons.
is this
No, I wanna
business you
see.
speak of?
Well, who are you?
I am Apollo. I am the greatest freaking How do you think they got back here?
Yeah,
Give
no.
me a persuasion
No.
check with disadvantage, Apollo.
I mean, I was riding Bert most of the time, but
Persuasion with disadvantage. Okay.
And that would be
Da-da-da-da-da. A 17.
17 with disadvantage. Wow.
Well, I don't know. I was like, what? Really? And a 0.
Well, Sure, that sounds incredible, but anyways, Arena, go Shaw. Where's Derek? Is Master Derek coming later?
Derek's off on a different errand.
Oh,
Max
He
and
got
Derek
called
won't
away.
be back for a while.
well,
Yeah.
perhaps when you all settled, you could join me in your new building next door. Need to talk about a few things.
I'm
Tell us now.
yeah,
What's
I'm
going
good
on?
to go now. Yeah. You guys go on in and get settled, show Apollo upstairs, and Kai, show Apollo upstairs, Valev.
Okay.
Maybe a bath. And
I believe
really,
they're going to do adult stuff.
you don't
Ugh.
have to take a bath, Valev. You don't. It's okay.
So, Goldshot,
yeah,
Arena,
no, I probably should. Yeah, it was a long road.
and oddly
It
enough,
was.
the dozen mercenaries begin to unload wagons, unhitch horses, do all the requirements of taking apart the tack and getting everything kind of hustled away into the barn section that's actually grown a bit larger. There's been a second story put on it.
I tell the
Wow.
High Moons, these are our people. Take care of them. Make sure they're fed. Give them whatever they need.
Absolutely, dear. I shall take care of this. Mike, you take them over to the tavern and speak with them immediately. Yes, dear. I'm trying to get them over there now. I'll be back. And they kind of like do that kind of, thing that married couples do when they've been together for 82 years. She hustles the children back into the Chimera. Everybody, Kai, Valev, and Apollo, and everybody falling, everybody back into the Chimera. The two of you kind of walk with High Moon and goes, well, there's been a lot of changes while you've been gone. I've had to do some hiring. They built this a lot faster than I expected it. The kitchen's amazing. Anyways, and then he kind of walks you in the double doors into a building. It's unmarked. It's unfinished. The windows are done. The exterior's done, but there's no sign. There's no finishing kind of attachments or anything to it. You step into a very large cavernous space. In the very center is a complete bar that's been built in kind of like a completed circle, but with a slight entrance at the back end of it. You can see barrels and crates stacked everywhere. Tables upturned, chairs put on tables, things are covered. It's almost as if it's moving day. All the equipment's been staged and placed. There is a back section with a door that he kind of takes you through to a kitchen. The kitchen's been built, but not well stocked. There's double pantries. There's everything that you would need to get a tavern up and running, but nothing has really been accomplished. And the entire time, High Moon is explaining, well, you see, they built it so fast, I didn't have enough time to hire people to do the work. I didn't have enough time to, so here's the thing. There's been so many people coming through that, we keep running out of stock. In the last 2 weeks, we've probably cleared 85,000 gold.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I'm not really used to handling that much coin.
Do you need me to take it over to Calf?
We can take it.
We've been
Apollo, you're not there.
you're in the Chimera, you're not in the tavern. Here's the thing. I've been doing what we've been told with Calf. Calf says he's running out of space. I don't know what that means.
Oh dear. Okay. I have a chest that Silverhand gave me that we might be able to use.
Oh, good. Phew. The reason why I was just wanted to speak to you two is, you watch as he picks up like a cellar door, he heaves it up and open, and there's a set of stairs going down. It's in the kitchen area, and brings all of you down into the cellar. And as you come down, there's just iron boxes stacked everywhere. And he flips one of the lids open, and it's silver, copper, gold, a smattering of platinum. I've got about 100 of these iron boxes here. They're all full.
Jeez.
I've given what I can to Calf. I don't really know what to do all this. I mean, my fear is that someone's going to find out, someone's going to break in and steal all of it. I kind of feel like we need to start spending it, but I don't know what to spend it on. The caravan season is over for the most part. The spring season is over. I don't know when the summer caravans are going to come for the fall. We're running out of material and stock. He's frantic. He's out of control. Okay. He's frantic.
Michael, calm
Take a deep
down.
breath. Take a deep breath. It'll be okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
You've done nothing wrong. You've done everything right. We have plenty of money. You've kept it safe so far. We'll make sure that we keep it safe. Now, so when the people coming across the bridge, Jason, were there a lot of people with goods, or is it mostly just people? Were there caravans coming across there?
Give me a perception check.
Or just a bunch of refugees? So, perception for...
Roll for memory.
23.
Kind of retconning it a little bit, because you were also taking the moment to speak with Vimac in regards to how to pick out specialists and look for people with specialized skills. Right. For the most part, it's very simple possessions that they were carrying on either wagons or by foot or cart. Very much refugee-style columns. People who had whatever they could are bringing it with them.
Right.
There was no real sign of organized mercantilism of all sorts. But with what Mike High Moon is telling you, this kind of makes sense, because the amount of bartering and selling and what was going off in the streets on your way in kind of makes sense. There's a lot of activity going on, and where people are getting this, you're not really sure. But there seems to be an economy within an economy within an economy that's kind of evolving here with this kind of mass influx and growth all of a sudden. Mike begins to explain, a lot of the exotics are definitely on the shelf, but a lot of the basics go quickly. And there's a general lack of manufacture to kind of keep pace with all the common goods that are needed.
So how do we set up some manufacturing?
Well, I
Well-
was hoping you could speak with Unther. I mean, he's almost got the forge done.
Oh, good.
I kind of took a few extra coin to help him kind of deal with that. And I don't know where gnomes get their temperament from, but he's kind of mean, Longtooth, but he seems capable. I put in my orders, simple blades, nails, utensils, cookware, pots, there's a couple furniture makers trying to set up business. There's some ceramic makers. See, the whole reason why I haven't really set up the tavern yet is I can't get everything we need.
Okay, we should invest in some furniture makers and some ceramics makers.
Yes,
So
which-
we should give them money to set up shop.
Take some of the money, yes. Have them
Okay.
invest in their businesses.
How do I do that?
Go get service contracts made.
How do I
Or
do that?
We can go and do that. We
Yes.
can go.
I mean,
We'll go and do
honestly,
that.
I'm more equipped to running the Chimera. I mean, I keep the lab clean.
And you do a very good job. It's amazing.
We keep you and yours fed. We keep the small outdoor patio stocked, and
Do we need to
can
hire
manage.
someone to do this, is what you're saying?
I think it's about time we start bringing on more people,
I think you're right.
Alright.
because
Do you know some trustworthy people?
well, I mean, I don't know. There's so many new faces that come and go. It's difficult to know who's who anymore.
So you don't have any
Part of the
specific
firebrand.
people that you trust?
Well,
All right.
I mean, I know.
Look into it.
I kind of feel like if I talk to Jade or maybe talk to Calf and some of the others, they're having similar issues. I mean, they've even opened up the residential district now. You can come and go at will. There's no real, there's no real need to stop anybody because the businesses are running 24/7. The Lord's Tavern is just, I mean, the line's out the door. It's just crazy around here. So many people.
We'll
Well,
look
then we
into it.
should
We'll
get-
get this set up. Just
Gi-
spend the
give me
money
the
you need
names.
to spend. And
Give me the names of the people that you know that wanted to set up the furniture shop and the ceramics shop, and we can see about
Well, I
investing
don't know
in
if they
them.
really wanted to. I mean, they're mostly just making it out front of their hovels and homes and selling it in
Okay.
the streets. I don't know. This feels like just a lot so fast.
It is a lot so fast.
What do you want me to do first? I need
also-
some ideas.
why don't you take some of the money, and you can get the tavern set up?
Okay, but
Oh.
it's not a problem of wanting to get it set up. Just don't have enough supplies to do it.
So
And-
what supplies are you lacking?
Well, foods are a bit short. The soup kitchens seem to get the pick of it all. A lot of like the plates and silver and flatware. I need tankards. I need lots of tankards. I mean, where do I get beer from? The Brewers Hall is swamped. They can only do so much, and he's run out. I don't know.
Well, hopefully, some of the newer people that are coming in, because there's a lot of them, have some experience in starting up some of that too.
It's kind of like pulling at his ponytail. I don't.
We'll look for some skilled laborers. Perhaps we could even find some brewers we can set up.
Okay.
Don't worry about it if it doesn't open right away. Don't worry if you have to close shop because there's nothing left to sell. We've got plenty of money here.
Okay.
You could send
we
letters
still
out to
wanna-
neighboring towns recruiting
We'll-
artisans to
we'll-
possibly
we'll
come and
work it
start up
out.
shop here.
I need a meta pigeon emote so bad.
Well, I don't think we need to send out to other towns. We can just send out to some of the refugees that are coming in and see if any of them
I'll talk
have
to Unther and see what's going on. He might be able to help us with this.
some skilled artisans that have been displaced.
Hunters.
Because doesn't the temple like have their own, like, they make mead or something like that?
They mostly deal in alchemy supplies, medical supplies, healing
They're turning them
kits,
into a brewery.
healing herbs. They do have an herb, like a large herb-like garden that they maintain and use for component purposes. There is a hospital attached to the side of the main church.
I mean, they call it hand sanitizer, but you can drink it.
No.
So eventually your conversation with Mike High Moon finishes. The two of you are back into a familiar chimera, and he definitely was not kidding. About half the front of the store is just devoid of inventory. Most of what's left behind is the high-end merchandise, major component supplies for casters, high-end kind of fabrics, pieces of furniture, but this too has been expanded slightly. There's a little bit more tables to kind of display out the exotic goods. The pet section's a little bit more expanded as well. But the familiar sounds of the chimera begin to settle in on all of you at this point. And
I'm gonna go and get that box. Okay, I'm gonna have someone else carry the box because it's bigger than I am. And it's 3 feet by 2 feet. So, yeah, I'll have somebody else carry it over to the tavern that's being built, and we'll empty all of those iron boxes into it.
Happy to do this for you, Arena. I'm just glad I got work. And it's one of the firebrands kind of picks up the box without any effort and just kind of brings it back behind, fireman's carry, and begins to trudge it over to the tavern.
Okay. And then I just have him set it down, and then I'll transfer the money without him there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sets it down in the kitchen area. Anything else you'd like me to do?
I'll come back and get you when I need it moved back.
Very well. And he kind of just heads back out.
Let's go to Gromit's real quick.
Is it
I'm
open?
gonna go see Gromit's.
That's over by Wallace's place, right?
Yeah, it's totally by Wallace's place.
Refresh my memory, Gromit?
Which one was Gromit?
Yeah, the warrant officer, the one that makes paperwork and.
But that's right.
And yeah.
You mean the lawyer that we have on retainer? Does all of our contracts?
Yeah, basically
documents?
does contracts and stuff like that and writes things up for us. Yeah,
nice.
He's been doing that a long time, huh?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, you make your way over to that area. Is anybody else going with him?
I'm busy.
Okay.
Papers? Important things that you have to read? Sounds boring.
All right.
Belev, you can come help me.
What do you need help with? Okay.
It's like, what do you need help with? Okay. Gulshaw, the wooden building has been replaced with a 2-story stone building.
Ah, very nice.
The bulletin board now takes up about 3 or 4 times the space that it used to take up. And it's heavily laden with all manner of requests. I believe Gromit was the gnome, correct? The wizened old gnome kind of is standing out front, putting and pinning up, and he's just kind of mumbling to himself, I don't know why they keep giving me more work. There's just too much. He turns, go show. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you?
Mr. Gromit.
Yes.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm busy. Oh, thanks. Well, I should say thanks to you and your friends.
Well, you look very busy.
Yeah, by the way, I know the Chimera is doing well too, but I was wondering, could you take about 20 wagon loads of wood off my hands?
Yes.
I had it in reserve for the construction site, but they're all coming back now. It sounds like they're mostly done. I've got it all ready to go. I just have no place to send it. About 1,000 gold for all 20.
All right. Sold. We'll make the transaction. Also,
Where
I
where would
need.
you like me to send it? And he like pulls out a sheaf of paper, signs it really quick, and kind of hands it over to you.
8 of the wagons need to go to Traverton. 2 of the wagons can stay here at the Chimera Mercantile, so we can get some people building furniture, and we can sell the wood here too.
Okay, it's good oak.
All right. And I need some general contracts that I can have to contract with people who make various items such as furniture, tankards, silverware, what have you.
Well,
I can have them sign letters of understanding between them and Chimera. We want to
be honest,
invest in some of the smaller company.
to be honest with you, Gosha, I normally send those requests down to some of the outlying communities. Brockton's normally the one that we rely on for lumber and furniture, but they can't keep pace. We don't really have anybody here that makes much. We normally rely on the local caravans that come and go, but that season's gone. I mean, I've got plenty of labor. I just got nowhere to put them all. They're all either building buildings or tilling soil to keep busy and keep expanding the availability of food, but I'm not really sure if I can give you what you need.
Send those people to Traverton if they have no work here. I have a militia force that will escort them. They will be unharmed. They can go with the wood caravan and make their way to Traverton. There's plenty of work down there for them. There'll be an influx of people coming there that will need to have places to live and chairs to sit on and tables to sit at.
I could do what I can only do, but I'll give it my best shot. I think Lord Silverhand has made Unther Landmaster at this point. If you need land, you can go to him. He pretty much is responsible for settling everybody into the any available homes or buildings that we have for those that need it. But I would definitely meet with him. I can organize the labor that you might need. I just need the writs and the documents for when you need them and what you'd like them to do, and I can organize the cost.
That sounds good.
Good.
I'll go talk to Lord Unther then.
Well, I know it's been a while since he's seen you. Nice to have you and your friends back. I'm imagining you're all back, correct?
Yes, there's a few of us out doing other things, but the most of us are back.
That's good. Good that you're back. And he kind of like hands you just a ream of paper, just tied, bundled, everything you're going to need for onboarding anywhere from 500 to 1,000 individuals to do whatever you need them to do. And there's like a summary sheet on top. It's going to cost you roughly 1,200 gold a month to maintain this labor force.
Okay.
Ouch. 1,200 gold a month.
So early evening begins to wane into late evening. All of you are enjoying a meal back in the Chimera. Apollo has been steadily brought up to date on the Chimera. He's been given Max's room, since that's the remaining spare room at this point on the second floor.
Did I finish?
Hmm?
Did I finish moving the gold?
Yeah, well, it's going to take you a few days, but
Okay.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work moving 46,000 coins.
Well, I was going to take my bag of holding and I was going to empty it, and then I was going to scoop stuff into the bag of holding and then turn it upside down over the bag of retrieval or box of retrieval and dump it in there.
I would say after about 2 or 3 days, you can complete that task.
Okay.
All right.
Because the box
So-
of retrieval holds an unknown amount of stuff.
At some point, Valev, go ahead, Apollo.
Why didn't you just have the guy dump all of the coins into the bag of holding?
Because
And
I
then-
don't want our mercenaries knowing that we have that much money on hand.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, true.
Mm-mm.
Valev, at some point, you and Scorch share a conversation over dinner. So, I'm going to go grab a snack. I'm not really a fan of this way of eating, so I saw a nice herd of cow out there. Do you have any coin on you, Valev? I don't carry any.
Am I there? Do I hear?
Yeah, you could be there.
I'll hand him money.
Oh, how much is this?
Out of character, how much would a cow cost? Was it like 5 gold?
Maybe. Depends on, supply and demand.
right? Might not be
Okay.
able to find a cow anymore.
I'm gonna hand him 100 gold.
How much is this?
This is
I-
100 gold.
Oh, okay.
I still have all of these platinum ones.
Keep the platinum for now, honey.
Okay.
Well, anyways, I'm going to go grab a meal. I will talk to you all
Okay.
later.
Yeah.
And then you watch as Scorch kind of gets up, scrunches the ears of Ghost, Ghost Blaze, and makes his way down and out. And this whole evening of eating, it's just like you just hear people outside hawking wares. The streets are crowded. There's even a new kind of like gas lighting system that's being installed throughout, where these lamps are put in and these little like gas devices are attached to the outside of them. And between like this like strange kind of wood gas is being used to produce this light. This is at least keeping the streets a little bit light longer. As opposed to traditional oil lantern lighting. There's, a lot of activity. So, what we're now going to start planning for is, well, you guys have a couple days before Valev has to make his decision. So, for now, go ahead and let me know what you'd like to accomplish over the next couple days. And then we're going to start discussing how, based on what Valev's decision is, what the rest of you are going to be doing for the entire summer, as we are going to time skip 3 months. And we're going to use that 3-month time skip for you all to kind of accomplish things that you want to get done before we start the fall.
I would like to reach level 15, Jason.
That's not how this works, but I appreciate the
What?
optimism.
Come on, a level a month. Let's go.
So with that, you guys have a couple days. You're back in Whist. You have acquired the wealth of while you've been gone, and there's a lot of
Shoot, how
activity
much was
going
that?
on. 86,000
86,000. Yeah.
gold.
Okay. 86,000 gold.
I rolled an 8 and a 6.
Well, isn't it minus like 100 because you just gave 100 to somebody?
Shh. Apollo,
Uh,
shut up.
No, I already had that in petty cash.
Petty cash. Petty coin. We call it petty coin.
Petty coin.
Yeah, with 86,000, there was, you said it was a mixture of all coin, but it was total worth 86,000 gold.
Correct.
Right?
Between
Cool.
gems, coin, and
Yeah.
all the currency that trades hands and moves across tabletops and procurement of inventory and such, roughly that worth. But for the most part, bookkeeping is just bookkeeping from the perspective of running the Chimera, soon to be running the tavern. Also, the theater is mostly done. However, no one seems to be quite in charge of the theater at this point. So, you guys have a couple days before meeting up again for an evening meal to learn about Valev's decision. You guys have a couple days in Whist. What would you like to accomplish?
I'm gonna have the High Moons help me with putting the stuff in the box of retrieval. That way I can do other things while I'm here.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to?
And
Because it's 2 days. You can describe all 2 days for me, and we'll start making rolls or doing what you need to get done.
one of the days, I definitely want to go over and talk to Vert and Tamlin.
Okay. Vert is not back yet, but Tamlin is.
Okay.
You take some time. Oh, Athena, it's good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We're running out of stuff at the Chimera, but other than that, we're good.
Yeah, things are very busy here, aren't they?
Yeah. We got to see about setting up some more, I don't know, people to make things.
Well, as long as you're here, you saved me a trip. This is for you. It's documentation and ownership on 1,000 acres outside of Whist. You're free to use it as for whatever you wish.
Okay. Fabulous. 1,000 acres outside of Whist.
From Lord
Well, we
Silverhand
did-
himself.
That's awesome. Because I know we need a bigger enclosure for some of the exotic animals that are coming into Chimera.
About that, the amount of elephant poop is getting quite... Well, I was wondering, could we move your elephant out over by some of the main...
Farms?
the main... Well, yes, the fields. I think if we could just cut down on the amount of shit traffic that has to come through town, it's getting big, and I think it'll do better out in the fields, if that is okay with you. It's quite docile.
Yeah, we can setting up an enclosure for it out there.
I've noticed that Max has not returned. I've not seen him around town. I went looking for him over at his theater, and I did not see him there.
Max ended up going off with the Wizards of Thay.
Oh, I did not know that was a thing. That's...
I didn't either until they showed up and said he was a Wizard of Thay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they're trying to help him recover himself, which will help them recover themselves.
Interesting. So, my original conjecture was correct. That's good to know. Anyways, what can I do for you?
I just wanted to come by and catch up and see what all I missed and let you know that, we found some interesting things. We left him with Vert, and he should be bringing him back. A chair.
Yes, I received the message in regards to the chair. I am interested in looking at when that gets here.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Well,
we didn't try sitting in it yet.
Well, I can tell you this much. The description that I was given and my notes I have on the Astro Library that you had found in Tocasta's lair, or at least going through there. I don't know where you ended up. We're still trying to figure that out, but it kind of matches the fabrication description of that location, the artifacts from there as well, including the Zemir. I think maybe Vert had mentioned that as well, the reflection of a point of time, as he called it. I don't know. That's not my specialty. That's something that Vert dabbles in. I mostly write, study, and read, and try to figure shit out.
Yeah, that mirror is interesting. I kind of want to look in it.
You should probably wait till Vert gets back. It's in his tower.
Yeah. Do you have access to checking on the dragons? How are the dragons doing?
My understanding is they are doing quite well. The green one, I believe, is developing an interesting personality. Feminine,
Interesting
it turns
good
out.
or interesting bad?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about dragons, so I'm not really sure what you... I mean, I consider you very interesting.
Okay.
Are you bad or good? I don't know how these things work. You seem good.
I try.
Trying is important.
Yes. Do my best to be good and do good things.
Anyways,
Yeah.
anything else I can offer you? Other than the fact that things continue to grow quite, busily. You've been given your land grant, and I assume that you and yours will
Yeah.
be heading to Treverton soon?
Yeah, that's the goal. We're stopping in here and then heading on down to Treverton to set up shop down there.
There was
Um,
quite a rowdy group that came through here earlier this afternoon. A big, tall, bald man by the name of Vimac, I don't remember,
Vimac.
said
Yeah.
something about needing food and equipment quickly so that they could make their way, and they offered up a chimera order to
Mhm.
fulfill, and we did. And are they with you?
Yeah, we hired them
Ah.
to go down and help in Treverton.
I do remember they were hired to guard the construction site and the bridge on the other side. So I'm taking it that this means everything is working well. Then everything is fine.
Yeah, the bridge opened well. It went the opening ceremony went well, and people are starting to come across.
Ah, good. It'd be nice to have
Yeah.
Lord Silverhand back here. There are many things that require his attention.
He said he was going to stay up there for a couple days, but should be back soon.
Good. When?
I have to hire more people for helping at the Chimera, and I was wondering if you knew of any particularly trustworthy people that you would recommend.
I could make some recommendations, although most of them are new faces. The one thing I could garner you that I go to the soup kitchens to find people that are available for work, find out what their skill sets are, find out what they're capable of. I've recently had to hire more scribes, farmhands, ranch hands, herders, people that can do most things associated to food and other supplies. I've pretty much managed to keep close to my chest, as they say.
Okay. Yeah, and we're looking for. I guess we'll look down in the soup kitchens because we're looking for some artisans talented in making things that we could,
Test subjects.
test subjects. Test subjects that we can have sit in a chair.
Sit in this chair. Sit. Oh,
Sit in this chair.
Next.
We'll give you a gold. Sit in this chair. No.
Go for a ride.
No.
Sit in the chair. Only a copper piece. Make money.
Artisans that need help setting up shop. So that's
Yeah,
kind of what we're looking for.
I'll try to gather up what information I can and send it your way for sure.
Good.
Out of character, that 1,000 acres that we just got, depending on what it looks like, could provide a lot of lumber for houses and woodworkers.
Well, it might be flat and
Yeah.
already treeless.
We'll see. It's 1,000 acres though. If it's all flat and treeless, that's a lot of space.
That's true. I have
So-
13 acres. That's like times almost 10.
Anything else you want to do with your 2 days? Are you good?
With my 2 days, yeah, I want to go out and look at the 1,000 acres that we were just
Okay,
given.
make your
But
way
I'm
out.
gonna go back to show Gulsha the thing and see if he wants to go out and look at it with me.
Okay. So, Gulsha, your 2 days. Anything you'd like to do?
Okay, well, I want to go speak to Unthar
Okay.
and talk to him about helping me, number one, with all of the Chimera issues, try to get that all ironed out.
Okay.
Ask him to, or someone in the temple that's reliable, to start seeking out holy warriors for the Raven Queen, for the Knightly Order of the Raven, and get that set up, and talk to him about that. Let him know that I'll be traveling to the ashram temple.
Okay. That consumes most of your time to do this. Unther's pretty much on board with everything that you want to do. He begins to organize a series of meetings and get groups of people together so that he can offer you up some names and potential activities around that as well, recruitment, training, and the such. And at some point near the end of your second day, you and Arena meet up. She explains that you just acquired 1,000 more acres on the outside or the outskirts of town. It's actually the most western portion of the outskirts of town. It is a combination of farmland, some edge areas of copse of trees. There is a small stream that kind of runs through it as well. The land, for the most part, is not currently being habitated by anybody by any stretch of the imagination. And it sits about 10 miles out, or 10 minutes, 10 minutes outside the western edge of Whist. Far enough away to where it could be inconvenient, but close enough that, building it out could have value.
Right. So, Belshaw, what do we want to do with this?
Well, before
Well, I
you
want
two
to
have
build
your
it.
interaction,
Good.
Kai, what are you doing with your 2 days?
Well, I will be unpacking all of the fun things I got, and
Okay.
I will approach Valev and Valev. I was going through my notes and
Mhm.
I realized that while you're in the Candlekeep, in the Reliquary Vault, there should be something called the Book of Knowledge. That would be most appreciative if you could bring that back to me. I believe my father and Valev, or what's Vert, might be looking for that.
Um, so you said a lot of words there.
Yes, I
Book
will
of
write
knowledge.
down for you and give you that
Okay,
so that you
yeah,
can remember it.
that would be really good.
And
So
Wonderful.
you want a book?
Yes, a
Okay,
specific book, the Book of Knowledge.
okay. Do, does the book know things or never mind?
It's full of lots of information. Thank you. Yeah, and then I'm gonna study that journal that we got in the cave, along with I don't know if I'll approach my father with the ring. I don't think I already gave it to him or showed it to him
Refresh my
yet.
memory, which journal?
The journal that I found in the cave with the Silverhand skeleton.
It
There
wasn't
was a journal
it wasn't
in
a
there with
cave. It was
well, that
yeah,
pit or whatever it was.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that was.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check on the journal.
Okay. That's a 19.
19. Studying it for the better part of a half a day, you make notations and you begin to realize that it is actually the personal journal of Lord Silverhand, or whichever one this one was. And it describes a nightmarish kind of reality that existed. It goes on to describe the catastrophe of a collapsing civilization around it and the eventual imprisonment in a globe of light that he has no idea how to get out of. And that's the last entry of
Oh,
Lord
okay.
Silverhand in that particular journal.
All right. And then I would want to help with anything, like be able to see if I can look at that chair and do any more studying on that. I know I noted down a lot of the glyphs that were in the room. I
Mhm.
don't know if I need Vert or Tamlin to talk to and compare my notes
I
and
mean, you
show
have
me.
access to the Silverhand library, so you're free to come and go whenever and do your
Okay.
studies. So I'll say you spend
Yeah.
one of your days doing your studies on the glyphs. So go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
23.
23. You do eventually come across a book called The Duality of Arcanic Existence. And this is a very old book that Vert had discovered through one of the many forays out into the ruined world. And he kept this book for a reason, because it described a point in time where arcane energy and the weave was stable. And within a stable environment of the weave, it was quite possible to combine effects of magic because the weave stability allowed it to happen. Now, if the weaves collapse, this kind of magic is extremely dangerous. If it kind of gives you the opportunity to understand the chair might have been used, had it been used during this particular time, it would have worked as intended. You sat in the chair and you shifted to an alternate plane of reality. The weave doesn't work like that anymore. So if this relic was invoked, it was invoked with the knowledge that it doesn't quite work the same. And you get the feeling that the glyphs that you discovered were added on top of previously existing wards of the chair. And the initial enchantment of the plane shift chair has been corrupted by the nature of the glyphs. The glyphs seem to create a tether of existence, forcing whoever is tied to this chair to be trapped on the prime material plane as it's been altered and shifted and made different. Someone who did this would have to have very deep knowledge of magic, deep knowledge of augmentation styles of magic, enchantments, and would have to be quite powerful in nature to be able to alter and create this into something else. That's pretty much all you glean from the book that you discover.
Okay. Interesting.
So any tinkering or alchemy stuff you want to get accomplished?
Yeah, I might play around with some guns, try not to blow myself up while I'm doing it, just to see if I can come up with a way to make them auto-firing
Give me
anyway.
Give me an intelligence check. We'll say you do this over the course of a couple days.
Yeah. And just straight intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Intelligence. That's a 16.
16. Now give me a regular performance check.
You got this.
You can
Nope.
do
You
it.
got that D12 of inspiration.
No, that was
Yes,
only
you do.
for 24 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
Well,
you
it
can
has
still
to be.
use it. It's fine. It could be
Okay.
part of your first day of activity.
19.
19. Now give me sleight of hand with advantage.
Sleight of hand. With advantage. 14.
14. You
And I
spend...
could throw in my D12
Yeah,
if needed.
go
I'm
for
going to
it.
blow myself up because I don't want to blow myself up.
Don't blow yourself up.
No. Let's not do that. D12.
We still need you.
Yeah,
You
we
haven't
do.
blown up once.
So that's
while you're
another
doing it.
7 on top of my 14.
So 21.
So,
You
yeah.
manage to disassemble one pistol and one rifle, and you take very specific notes on their manufacture. You also manage to pull apart the method of the black powder, the ball, and how that all works. Gets packed into the barrel, and you take very copious notes, and Max would be very proud of the sketches that you make, these engineering designs that you kind of speculate on. You begin to kind of understand the ingredients and what it would take to make the black powder. Maybe some more study and some more effort in gathering samples out and about. You could even possibly start to be able to figure out how to make the powder. You begin to also realize that the engineering of the bullet seems clunky to you. It doesn't make sense. Why not just take the bullet, the powder, put it all in a single kind of metallic kind of canister, and then use a heavy kind of like steel pin to ignite it? And you kind of start sketching and making notes, and you're your laboratory is just obliterated with conspiracy threads. You know, you've got a thread running to these notes and these notes and this, and you got these pictures up. And before long, you've your entire private room is now just this massive connection of thought and theory and process. And you spend the remainder of your time getting all that organized. Velev, what would you like to do with your couple days?
That's awesome. Her laboratory basically turned into like an ammo pressing like
Dylan
system.
Press.
Wait till I
Yeah.
start messing with the pouch of ash from those imps. We'll see what that does to things.
Holy shit,
All
you're gonna
right.
fire little imp bullets at people? That's perfect. I love it.
That's coming next.
They
Something
It's-
burst
crazy.
into flames.
that's
Left for
that's-
Dead 2
that's
for sure.
That's
Yeah.
an impressive idea.
Impressive.
Impressive.
Yes.
There you go.
Impressive
There you go.
idea.
There you go. So during day one, I would kind of be, I guess, not shadowing each person, but kind of like basically going around to each person, just spending, maybe like an hour or so with each of them, just in the background, keeping them company. I would definitely, you said Vert wasn't there yet, but Tamlin was there. I would definitely check in, see how he is doing. No real like conversations necessary, but just kind of, you know, that feeling before you go on a big trip and you want to make sure you like
Right.
don't forget to say anything to somebody, that you needed to say.
Right.
So just going around having those little conversations. Yeah, when checking in with Kai would have been talking about the rifles and having that little bit. As far as actual things to accomplish, the things that I would ask probably would from Tamlin would be just about any type of like magic weaponry, because all of my actual stuff aside from the staff of summoning is non-magical, and that kind of became an issue with some of the things that we were facing, and considering that we don't know where we're going with the possible candle keep thing, and we don't know what we're going to be running into, want to try and be as prepared as possible. So basically questioning about where if there are any magical weapons that I would use, or where if they know anybody where we might be able to find some, or somebody who could imbue or make something a bit more magical.
I would say go ahead and give me a persuasion check while you're having kind of like a passive conversation with Tamlin.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a negative.
You can do it.
That is a 15.
15. You have enough pull now that at some point Tamlin kind of takes you back into where the relic reposit is, that some of the more common relics and other things that have been found. But based on your concern, he kind of guides you back to this one section. The glass cases are a bit more dusty here, and there's lots of different things here. And he just kind of looks about and he goes, is there a particular thing you want? Are you thinking weapon, armor, protection? What's your thoughts?
I don't like armor. It gets in the way, and then I mean, if you wear it too long, you start smelling like Gulshaw. Ugh. But I think maybe like some weapons. I use my bow a lot, and I kind of use my rapier too. Yeah, maybe a bow or a rapier. I'm sure once my dragon scale shield is done, that thing is going to be like really cool. But yeah, for now, just something that does magic damage when it hits things. Oh, if the rifle did magic damage, that would be so cool.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to talk to Kai about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not what you'd call a rifle guy, but I do have a rapier I could give to you. We have two actually. They've been sitting on some of our specialized weapons racks for some time. Most of the people that are interested in magical weapons tend to prefer the sword or the mace or the hammer or the axe. Those have all gone the way of Brachus's officers. I have a rapier that will give you advantage when you fight, and it offers +2 to hit and +2 for damage.
That sounds
Oh.
really pretty.
I
What's
have
the other one?
I have another rapier that we did some testing on it, and it is the rapier of restored healing. It works normally under combat situations, but if you manage to critical hit, as they say, to do a significant hit on a target with it, it is +2 to hit and +2 for damage as well. But if you do a really good hit, it will immediately restore 50% of your lost hit points.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it steals it from the target
Ooh.
that you take them from.
Oh darn.
I mean, that's not terrible.
Well, just be cautious with it if you choose this one.
I got 127 hit points right now. That's a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh,
when you
that's
score
so...
at 20, which
Yeah,
we need
when
to
you
no.
I don't know. Well, I have done a critical hit in like the last
Yeah, I
month
did
and a
too.
half, I think one.
Yeah.
I normally end up hitting them on like a skill check where it's like, hey, guess what? You found just enough cheese to make Bert happy, or something silly like that. Um, uh, you said this one gives me advantage? Does that just mean I like it's good at hitting?
Yeah, well, basically, you get advantage on your rolls every time you hit with it.
Okay, that sounds really neat. Here, do you want my sword? And we'll trade. And so I keep trying to give people to like this platinum stuff to like buy things, but Arena keeps telling me to hold on to it, and I don't know what you're supposed to do. Do you keep it or do you spend it?
Velev, you are amongst a group of people that I do not believe needs to worry about wealth any longer. The influence and accomplishments of you and your friends are the wealth that this community required. Do not worry about it. If you feel obliged, I can have the money given to Unta, who supplies and pays for the soup kitchens. We have plenty of hungry mouths.
Yeah. Here, take like 10.
Very good. That will feed a lot of people.
Okay, because I don't know how to spend it anyways, and
I can
if
assure you.
it's gonna feed people, then that's really good.
I can assure you, Unta will figure it out.
Okay, I'll give him 10 platinum, give him my rapier, and then take the rapier advantage, or what is this actually called in
It's
D&D
a
Beyond?
+2 rapier of advantage.
Nice. Okie dokie. Yay. And was there
Is that the bonus for
any
life stealing?
other? No, that was
That's
a
the other
different
one.
The other one? That's the other one.
Is there any other random trinkets like circlets or other amulets or something that look fancy that might
You don't
be
see
good?
any. This seems to be mostly weaponry for the most part.
Cool. And no bows, just or anything like that. I'm trying to look at other things that I would use, and it's like daggers and short swords, but that's about it.
Okay. So that'll wrap up your 2 days because it's mostly just superficial stuff for you at this point, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I believe so, yeah.
assuming Tusk doesn't fall asleep on me, Apollo, what would you like to try to accomplish with your 2 days? You're muted.
Apollo is definitely this card. First, probably gonna go do the exact same thing he just did, and this card look for a magic weapon since he does not have one.
Fair enough.
Oh, they're gonna be hard to find.
I'll say, Valev, if you want, you can introduce Apollo to Tamlin and see if you guys can persuade him if there's any
As
other...
I'm walking out with my rapier, I'm like, "Ooh, this feels." Oh, hey Apollo, are you gonna go see Tamlin?
Yes, I need.
Oh, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. You have to meet him. You have to meet him. He's really nice. Tamlin,
Okay.
I'm back. This is Apollo.
Oh, hello. It's good.
He's a friend. He's helping us with all the stuff that we've been doing.
I see. Does he possibly own clothes?
These
Not
are
that I'm totally against the naked form or anything, but you know, it's well. Anyway,
he's wearing a cloth.
A cloth.
So I would imagine that you are looking for a piece of equipment as well. I do have a spear or two lying about. We managed to salvage at least 3 of those specialized spears that Lundar was making, and we have them acquired. We had them turned into javelins. Perhaps that would interest you instead of a spear.
I don't know. I don't really use javelins, but maybe.
I have 3 javelins of piercing. They are +3 to hit, +3 for damage. They can be retrieved. They are good ranged and very light. In fact, they are considered a finesse weapon, if that helps you at all.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and trade maybe.
Oh,
And
I don't need any trade. If you are friends of the Chimera, you are our friends as well. He hands you 3 javelins of piercing, +3 to hit, +3 for damage.
Okay.
and he goes I was more looking for something for like this guy, but I think you got him a sword, cause
Oh yes, he acquired one of our rapiers. He seems quite happy.
yeah, I think he's gonna need some stuff not to get eaten on his trip.
So, Arena and Gulsha, you're out at the acreage. Eventually, we'll say that Kai, Valev, and Apollo make their way out there too, as they were kind of looking for you. And this is the conclusion of the second day. Valev still hasn't made his mind up yet, but all of you are staring out upon a vast amount of land that you've acquired. A lot of opportunity and things that can be done with it. There is the matter of dealing with Traverton. There's the matter of dealing with the ruined site that you acquired the remains of Silverhand, but there's also, back in Woolsville, that other small ruin that was discovered. There is the fact that Gulsha would like to visit the Oshram Temple. There is Valev's eventual decision to travel with Scorch or not. As the sun is setting on the second day of you all being back in Whist, it would seem there's a great deal going on. So, that's where we're going to finish tonight. Now, for next session, everybody needs to bring to the session what they would like to accomplish over a 3-month period, as we are going to time skip through summer to fall. Now, Gulsha, if you want to use your 3 months to make any discoveries on the Oshram Temple, that's very feasible. Arena, if you want to use your 3 months to develop and prosper the business, that's good too. Kai, engineering, design, tinkering. Valev, it's quite feasible that you and Scorch can make it to Candlekeep and back in that 3-month time period. It'll also allow me to bring Derek back with a significant amount of background in his little side quest as well. And it'll be a great opportunity for Apollo to get kind of fully integrated into the Whist society and everything else that's going on. Obviously, there's the evolution of Treverton and lots of different things you guys can do. So you have 3 months to accomplish what you would like to prioritize and do. So have that ready for next session, which will be next Monday night, 7 to 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So join us here. I'm going to check really quick to see if any of our favorites are up and running right now. And I think we should raid. So hang out for a moment. I'm going to find out who we can raid tonight, because I know for us it's hard on the West Coast. It's, late everywhere else or super early everywhere else because we're on the West Coast. It looks like Talking XP and Goblin Cave TV, I believe. They are playing Mech Warrior. But Talking XP is playing our favorite game.
And does it with the Twitch stream.
They can do it. I don't have to do anything.
No.
Sweet.
So let me go ahead and set that up. Let me go to our stream. So as I always say, be kind, be safe, and play a game. It's lots of fun. Hang out for the raid, folks, and say hi to some people.
Sure.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. Hang out. Do a raid.
Raid.
Yeah, raid.
Raid.
And we're off.
Bugs be gone.